welcome to Coach Stadium for season number 20 of Barrie Baycats Baseball. Tonight's Intercounty Baseball League game features the visiting Toronto Maple Leafs in your 2014, 2015, 2016, 2017, 2018, and 2019 IBL champion Barrie Baycats. Here's the starting lineups. First for the Toronto Maple Leafs, managed by Damon Toffoli. Leading off the left fielder, number 5, Jordan Castaldo. Batting second at second base, number 4, Garrett Takamatsu. Batting third and catching, number 9, Justin Mara. Batting fourth, the designated hitter, number 33, Sean Riley. Batting fifth at third base, number 17, John Salazzo. Batting sixth, the first baseman, number 7, Damon Toffoli. Batting seventh to shortstop, number 6, Dan Mara. Batting eighth in right field, number 16, Jeff McLeod. And batting ninth is center fielder, number 3, Connor Lewis. Pitching for the Maple Leafs tonight, number 23, Brendan Lyons. Are the starting lineups for your Barrie Baycats, managed by Josh Madlow. Leading up to center fielder, number 15, Jake Wilson. Batting second, the left fielder, number 42, Jeff Cowan. Batting third, the designated hitter, number 27, Ryan Rio. Batting fourth, the third baseman, number 13, Marcel Lacasse. Batting fifth and right fielder, number 28, Avery Tuck. Batting sixth to second baseman, number 8, Brent Bianfonte. Batting seventh and catching, number 26, Jake McDonald. Batting eighth to first base, number 34, James Anderson. And batting ninth to shortstop, number 3, Carson Burns. Pitching for your Baycats slate, number 55, Andrew Grider. Here are the umpires for tonight's game, calling the balls and strikes. Mr. Adam DeCare. At first base, Mr. Mackenzie Wright. And at third base, Mr. Jacob Golba. Fans, would you please rise? Kindly move your caps for our national anthem.
Well, a very happy Tuesday evening to you. Good evening and welcome to Coach Stadium in Springwater. Ben Davy along with Patrick Melbourne. It is the 5th and final regular season matchup of 2021 between the Toronto Maple Leafs and the Barrie Baycats. Baycats are 3-1 through the first 4 games, 2 wins here at home and a win and a loss in Toronto. Let's give you the starting batting order tonight for Damon Toffoli and the Toronto Maple Leafs. Jordan Castaldo leads off in left field. He's leading the IBL in runs scored. Garrett Takamatsu, the second baseman, bats second. Justin Mara is the catcher, batting third. Sean Riley approaching an IBL milestone. We'll tell you more about that later on. He's the DH batting cleanup. John Salazzo at third base, bats fifth. Player manager Damon Topley at first base, hitting number 6 tonight, batting seventh. Dan Mara, the shortstop. 8th, Jeff McLeod in right field, and the number 9 hitter, Connor Lewis, in center field. And they will face Baycat hurler Andrew Grider, left-hander, making his second home appearance here this season.
Andrew Grider, 25-year-old lefty from Cochrane, Alberta, stands at 6'2" on the mound. He's a tall lefty. It'll be an interesting challenge for the Toronto Maple Leafs right off the gate today. A little bit more deception from that side of the plate. 1-0 so far this season with a 2.54 ERA. He's only played in the 2 games, 7 2/3 innings. Struck out 10 in that time, that's good. 6 walks, I want to limit that today, but he did a good job in limiting it in his relief appearance on August 20.
Baycats with 2 wins at Christie Pitts, a 16-6 win and a 12-6 win in Toronto, and a couple of win and a loss here at home. 2019 in Toronto and 10-8 was the loss in Toronto, and the 2 wins were here in Barrie, 16-6 and 12-6. Our first inning is brought to you by The Cage, Barrie's only indoor public batting cage. Umpires tonight at home plate, it's Adam DeCare. Mackenzie Wright is at first base, and Jacob Goba is at third base tonight.
Toronto coming off a loss on August 22nd. Brantford beat them 7-5, so much like the Baycats, they're going to be wanting to get out early and try and get back on the winning side of things. It all comes down early against the pitcher that they really don't have a whole lot of experience against, really. Grider faced off against Hamilton in his only start, Brantford against in his relief appearance.
Castaldo steps in, Grider toes the rubber, works from the stretch right away. His first offering of the game is in the dirt ball 1. We're underway at 7:34 tonight on another hot, muggy evening here in Springwater, under a heat warning for the entire area. 28 Celsius at game time, feeling like 35 right now with the Humidex. Wind in from right field, pretty much negligible. A bit of a light breeze may pick up through the evening, but otherwise a calm night here at Coates Stadium.
Yeah, it's been on and off throughout the last couple of hours. It started out extremely hot. Believe it or not, what we're feeling right now is actually a little bit cooler than how it was a couple of hours ago, so it should get cooler pretty quickly.
And of course the sunsets are getting earlier in the evening as we head through the summer. We should get a couple of innings of sunlight in before the lights kick in.
Baycats fans very familiar with who's at the plate right now, and Jordan Castaldo has 4 homers on the year.
Count is 2 balls and 2 strikes to Castaldo. He spent 7 years here with the Baycats, rejoined the Maple Leafs here in 2021 and was given his championship ring as a member of the 2019 Baycats earlier this season. Got a real nice ovation from the fans as well.
Yeah, nice pregame ceremony there. Right now in his crouched stance, left-handed batter against left-handed hitter. Or against left-handed pitcher, rather.
That pitch up at the eyes, and the count is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Castaldo.
It's a tough top of the order for the Toronto Maple Leafs. They've really done a similar thing to what the Baycats have done. Baycats like to get all their big hitters at the top. Leafs as well. Jordan Castaldo and then Garrett Takamatsu and Justin Mara. Those are probably the 3 scariest hitters to face on the Toronto Maple Leafs side. Which means the first inning is going to be key for Grider. Establish the pitches early and face off against the hitters, 2 of which have on-base percentages over 400. All 3 actually, 1 over 500.
Payoff pitch from Grider. It's ball 4, and Castaldo is aboard, and the Maple Leafs get an early runner on here.
Let's take a look at the defense for the Barrie Baycats. Pretty similar to the last game. Jeff Cowan moves over to left, though. Jake Wilson in center. Avery Tuck is back in right. Left to right in the infield, it's Marcel Lacoste. He's back at third base after playing shortstop in the last game. Carson Burns returns after missing a few games. He's playing shortstop. Second base is for Hempy and Fonte. First baseman is James Anderson. Jake McDonald in behind the plate today for Andrew Grider.
And a strike 1 to start him off. Grider's strikeout to walk ratio, 10 strikeouts, 6 walks. His 2 appearances so far with the Baycats. This is his second start. That one in the dirt, and it's blocked by McDonald. Garrett Takamatsu is second in the IBL in home runs with 7, and third in RBIs with 26.
I think the relief appearance will really help Grider. Last time out, he was really good in 2 innings of relief.
Swing and a miss.
4 Ks in 2 innings, and if he can establish the strike throwing within the first 2 innings here against the toughest part of this Maple Leafs order, it'll really benefit him well, and then he can go back to showing a little bit more length. He pitched 5 2/3 his first time out.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Strider from the belt. The leg kick and the delivery on the ground, foul over near the Toronto dugout. 5 of the 9 hitters in this Toronto batting order are 300 or better. The batting average.
Yeah, Takamatsu up to 429. 520 on base average, 786 slugging percentage. He is a guy to be feared in this lineup. Well worth being in the 2 spot.
1-2 is on the ground and just out of the reach of second baseman Brantfy and Fonte, and that puts 2 on with nobody out here in the top of the first inning.
Not hard contact on the right side, and Fonte did pretty much all he could do moving to his left. It took a tricky bounce once it hit the dirt, and by the time it took that bounce, the play was pretty much set.
Justin Mara comes to the plate, the number 3 hitter and catcher tonight, one of 3 Mara brothers in this Toronto roster. 2 of them in the lineup this evening.
And this is why the lineup's built like this. Castaldo and Takamatsu now on base, get on base really, really well. But Mara leads this lineup in home runs. He's got 9 on the year in 20 games. So you cannot miss in the zone to Justin Mara.
349 average is really impressive when you consider he's played 20 games, all but one of the Maple Leafs games this season.
He has 26 RBI in that time.
Grider's ahead of him here, however. No balls, 2 strikes.
You maybe waste a pitch here now that you're up 2-0 in the at-bat. Try and get him to chase on something and then go right back in with what overpowered him earlier in the at-bat.
He shook off the first sign for McDonald. This one is hit to shallow left, and it's caught by Jeff Cowan. And there's 1 away here in the first inning.
That pitch was far enough outside to where he could not generate hard contact. The length of his swing could not get all the way out there. So it was a good pitch decision right there.
Sean Riley, the cleanup hitter, comes to the plate. 2 on here, 1 out in the top of the first inning. Riley among the leaders. The Toronto Maple Leaf stat sheet again this season with a .419 average, 15 games.
I'm sure we'll talk about Riley throughout the evening, but approaching a very, very key milestone, just 9 hits away from 1,000 IBL hits.
Hit hard, foul over to the left side, strike 1. Well, we've watched Jeff Cowan's IBL career here in Barrie, and he hit that 400 milestone a week or 2 ago here at Coates Stadium, and you just double that and realize you're still 200 away from this milestone that Riley is approaching.
It's pretty crazy.
Just a staggering number. This one hit foul.
Riley was a rookie in 1997 in the Intercounty Baseball League, played with Hamilton at that time, and used to be a pitcher, moved over to the hitting side shortly into his IBL career, and it really took off. He's played for multiple IBL franchises since then.
And actually had a very brief stint in Barrie with the Baycats in 2011, a decade ago. 0-2 from Grider, and this one hit down the third base line again. That one a little closer, but still foul, and count holds an 0-2.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if he went back to that pitch. Riley can easily do exactly the same thing and hope it just goes a little bit more to the right and stays fair. Because that's a dangerous one. If he manages to get a handle on that and keeps it fair, gets it by Lacoste, then it's going to take a while for the left fielder, Jeff Cowan, to get to it. Cowan now moving just a few steps more to the right and has angled himself more to that foul line. So if the ball heads back there, he'll be in better position this time.
Defense playing him straight away otherwise. Count is 0-2, another foul off.
Yeah, closed swing, was trying to hit it to that left side once again.
44-year-old native of Guelph, where he broke into the IBL with the Royals and played with Toronto on a previous stint, sandwiched between those 2 stints with Guelph and 4 seasons in Kitchener as well.
You wonder if Grider decides to go inside here, because that last swing, he might not repeat it, but the last one was extremely close, trying to just get the bat in there and move it to Lacoste.
Another foul off.
So if you bring it inside against the right-handed hitter, there's a lot less space to do that, and he won't be able to use that strategy. He's already tried twice.
And Grider gets a fresh baseball. So Andrew Grider in an early first inning jam, but he's got Sean Riley, no balls and 2 strikes with 1 away. Castaldo at second, Takamatsu at first. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Another foul, this one to the right side. 5 straight fouls in this at bat, at least 4. John Salazzo, the third baseman, is on deck. Grider gets the sign. Comes to the set position. Here's the 0-2 again. And this one hit up the middle and through into center field. It's a base hit. They're going to wave Castaldo in from third. The throw to the plate is mishandled. It was offline a little bit anyway. Now they got to throw to third. And Takamatsu is out cold. But Castaldo scores the game's first run, and it's 1-0 Maple Leafs.
Good awareness to not give up on the play by Jake McDonald there. The ball bounced to the plate, and he kept one eye on the runner coming home, but he also kept an eye on Takamatsu rounding second, heading into third. Not a great decision to head to third by Garrett Takamatsu.
Third baseman number 17,
Great
John
hitting,
Salazzo.
though, from Riley. He was really moving to the left side through that hole at bat, and then he centers it up, goes right to straightaway center. Not a lot of hitters can do that pretty much on command. It looked like he did right there. Really good stuff.
John Salazzo swings and misses at the first offering from Grider, strike 1. Sean Riley held it first. So the situation now 1 on with 2 out, but the Maple Leafs with a run across.
Takes such good awareness of your swing to be able to center it up like that.
A high pop-up, it should stay in play. The third baseman coming over and making the catch is Marcel Lacasse. There's 2 down. Sorry, that's 3 out in the inning, my mistake, including the throw at third base. So the Maple Leafs score a run, they get 2 hits, and they strand 1, and through a half an inning, it's 1-0 Maple Leafs. You're watching Baycats TV.
Gentlemen going through the stand, selling 50-50 tickets. There's 3 for $2 or 9 for $5. The draw will take place at the end of the 7th inning.
One nothing Maple Leafs as we go to the bottom of the first inning. In the order for Barrie tonight, Jake Wilson, the leadoff man in center. Jeff Cowan, left field, bats second. Ryan Real batting third at DH. Cleanup man Marcel Lacasse is at third base tonight. Avery Tuck, the right fielder, bats fifth. Brent Bianfante at second base, bats sixth. Jake McDonald, James Anderson, Carson Burns round out the bottom third of the order tonight for Josh Matlow.
On the mound, Brandon Lyons, who wears number 25 on his back. He's a right-handed pitcher and fairly new to this Toronto Maple Leafs pitching staff. So far through 3 starts, it's been a mixed bag for him.
Misses on the first offering, ball 1 to Cowan, or to Wilson, excuse me.
record of 1-1. He has an 8.18 ERA in 11 innings. He's only struck out 4 and walked 7. But he's limited the hits, less than 1 per inning.
Through the right side and into right field. Jake Wilson is aboard with a leadoff hit.
What a job Jake Wilson's done at the top of this batting order. We say it every game, it feels like, or at least the last couple. Jake Wilson, a perfect fit up there. Makes his on-base percentage higher. It started at .436. Both new school thinkers and old school thinkers, I think, would agree that Wilson's perfect up there.
Jeff Cowan, the left fielder tonight, checks his swing. It's a called strike.
Another game for Cowan in the 2 spot. Moves to left field today, though. Defensive versatility is something that I think the Baycats really have valued this season. A lot of players moving around the diamond.
Wilson draws a throw.
Wilson's got some pretty good speed. Maybe not the most aggressive base runner. David LeBlanc probably takes that for the Baycats, but Wilson's as fast as anybody up there.
Up the middle. Shortstop goes to second for 1. Over to first. Not in time. So they get Wilson on the force out at second, and Cowan is aboard with the fielder's choice.
Ball hit just between the grass and the dirt at shortstop right there, and I think that saved Jeff Cowan going down the line. Pretty normal other than that, and a good play at shortstop to get the play done there. Let's take a look at the defense for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Jordan Castaldo, familiar face in left for Baycats fans. Then Connor Lewis in center, Jeff McLeod in right. Heading to the infield, Jonathan Salazzo's at third base, Dan Mara at short. Garrett Takamatsu, we saw him, really strong hitter at second base. First baseman is also the manager, Damon Toppoli. Behind the plate, Justin Mara for Brandon Lyons.
Ryan Rio comes to the plate with a .361 average. 1 for 5, and he hits this one deep to right center field, and that one will go all the way towards the track. Extra bases for sure. Rounding third is Cowan. He's going to come in without a throw. It's an RBI double for Ryan Rio, and the Baycats tied at 1.
Good, solid, hard contact right there from Rio. Saw his pitch and just barreled it right center field. Not quite the deepest part of the ballpark, but got it in the perfect spot. Scored Cowan, who was with it all the way around the base paths. That's how they draw it up.
So 1 out, 1 on now for Marcel Lacoste, the third baseman. He played shortstop here Saturday night against the London Majors. Back in his more familiar position this evening.
Yeah, it was an odd game for him on Saturday because not only was he playing a position that he's not quite as familiar with, he also got hit by the pitch on his first at-bat. So that's a lot to take in at once, and today he should be a little bit more comfortable.
Lyon checks the runner twice, and the pitch is fouled back.
That kind of swing is, I know it's going to be in the strike zone, so I might as well give it a soft go at the plate, but you're not going to generate too much there. It was more of a waste swing.
And now time is called as there's a baseball over near the on-deck circle. So an RBI single by Sean Riley, putting Toronto up 1-0. Ryan Rio responds with an RBI double. We're tied at 1 here in the first. And a 2-1 count now, or a 1-2 count to Marcel Lacoste.
Some murmuring on that one across the crowd. Just monitor that throughout the first couple innings where the strike zone is on both left-handed and right-handed hitters. That one looked pretty good.
Leg kick in the 1-2, and that one's hit up the middle and into center field. They're going to hold the runner at third, and the throw comes in. It's off the glove of the shortstop Mara and rolls to the catcher up the third baseline. The runners will stay put. So Rio at third, Lacoste at first, and there's one away for Avery Tuck.
Not a lot of deception on the pitch either to Rio or Lacoste there.
Avery Tuck.
Avery Tuck had 4 hits on Saturday, scored 3 runs, so he was absolutely locked in. You can't be fooled by the overall .276 batting average, which is good, but he's been pretty much on fire over the last couple of games, and you cannot do a mistake pitch to him.
Yeah, one of their hottest hitters as of late, no question. And become a fan favorite already here in Barrie. First pitch swinging, and that one is hit sharply foul right side.
Yeah, he got lucky on the mound that swing was just on top of the pitch.
Send it down to San Diego, Avery.
This is where you pitch around a little bit. Worst case scenario is you load the bases, which keeps the double play in order if you pitch around.
Lions checks on Lacasse. He's back easily.
And if you pitch around early to a hitter like Tuck, you also get a good establishment of what the strike zone is. Both corners.
And another throw. That one a little closer.
You can just see the confidence from Avery Tuck, can't you?
Called strike, and it's 0-2.
Body language and mannerisms, just really confident up there. He knows he's been seeing the ball well, and he has an opportunity. 2 straight hitters have really locked in.
Took him a few games to kind of get comfortable, but he's been one of their hotter hitters as of late.
Yeah, I think there was a lot of pressure coming in. He was replacing Noel McGarry Doyle, who stepped out to go back to school. So
Lacasse is 3 for 4 in stolen base attempts. This swing, the bat goes way over the dugout. It's been a long time since I've seen that. The kids are over there to grab it.
Yeah, good luck getting that bat back. They're going to be nice and give it back.
Of course they will.
Well, not everyone's like that.
Jake Wilson was over there right away to make sure that the kids knew that the balls may be souvenirs, but the bats aren't.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of pressure replacing a guy who was as hot for the Baycats as Noel McGarry Doyle. So Avery Tuck came in, established himself, and now has really blossomed as one of their best hitters.
Nice grab by Justin Mara. Keep that one from getting away. The count is 1-0 to Brant Infante. Lacasse is 3 for 4 in stolen base attempts.
Yeah, it's not a big lead right now. Now a little bit bigger.
Draws another throw.
I think they're a little bit over worried about Lacasse over there right now.
Brendan Lyons very mindful of that runner.
Oftentimes, the runner at first takes a bit of a lead and the pitcher throws over just to give himself an extra second so he can reset to the hitter, and then the runner will pick up on that and take a bigger lead next time and try and fake him out with a big lead. So it'll generate another throw over. And that'll throw the pitcher off his rhythm even more.
Infante hitting .303, 9 RBIs coming into tonight. And a chance to give Barrie their first lead of the ball game. 1-1 tie here, bottom of the first. A called strike, and it's 3-1. He was taking all the way. Jake McDonald, the catcher, on deck. Runner goes, and this one hit foul.
That was more of a hit and run play than a straight steal, because it wasn't a fantastic jump, just average. But Infante was swinging all the way. If he swings and laces that into center field for a hit, you look really, really good as a strategist.
Just get that extra runner in motion. Sometimes that can make the difference. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runner goes. High fly ball to center field. Connor Lewis, couple steps to his left. He's under it, and he makes the catch. So the Baycats respond with a run after falling behind 1-0 and through 1 inning here at Coach Stadium. Maple Leafs and Baycats are tied at 1.
For Barrie, the first, 1 run and 3 hits with no errors, 2 runners left on base.
Baycats fans, how are we feeling tonight? Beautiful night for baseball at Coach Stadium. I said, how are we feeling tonight, Baycats fans? Right field line, center. That's right, that's right. It's a 1-1 game. We're in it tonight to win it, like every night. We also have some giveaways you should be aware of. A social media contest for a giveaway for a gift card to the merch shop tonight. Baycats.com. More info on that. Plus some trivia, some Baycats swag as well. We'll have that and lots more tonight. coverage. And let's go Baycats. Let's hear you one more time.
Trouble seeing the scoreboard or scorecard? Time to see Dr. Shell and his amazing team for all your eye care and eyewear needs. 225 Ferndale Drive. Go Baycats, go! Top of the second inning here at Coates Stadium. Leafs and Baycats tied at 1. The second inning is brought to you by Kingdom Bounce, specializing in kid-friendly inflatable structures. Visit them at kingdombounce.com. Damon Topley, Dan Mara, Jeff McLeod all due up for the Leafs. And it's the first pitch called strike from Baycat left-hander Andrew Grider.
Topley also the manager for this Toronto Maple Leafs club.
Outside corner, strike. 0-2 to Topley, the first baseman tonight.
Having a very good year at the plate. .352 average, 3 homers.
He's had an outstanding IBL career, both as a player and as a manager. He's handled catching duties in his career frequently as well.
Last pitch was in the dirt. That's when you hold on just a little bit too long. Might see him reestablish his grip here.
1-2 to Topley, first base side, and it's foul. And the count holds at 1 ball and 2 strikes.
You imagine some pitchers would need that extra pitch, and some not so much.
Grider from the belt, the 1-2. Fouled over the screen. And the count holds, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Damon Topley will turn 46 next month. Pretty amazing to still be playing ball into your late 40s. That's I'm in that age range myself. And
are you still playing ball?
Well, church league.
No, there you go. That
Does that
counts.
count?
That counts. Come on.
It's something.
Yeah.
3 balls and 2 strikes. Certainly couldn't go through the grind these guys go through, though.
Oh, no.
First base and through into right field. Avery Tuck over to pick it up. And that's a strong single for Damon Topley to lead off the top of the second inning.
Neither of these pitchers are missing a whole lot of bats early on in this one. You mentioned the temperature in a previous broadcast and how that can affect how pitches move, if you missed that. Really hot, humid temperatures can limit the movement of more intricate pitches like knuckleballs or pitches that are a little bit more wild. Tend to be a little bit flatter with high temperatures. It was hot about an hour before game time. It was still pretty hot at first pitch. Now it's cooling off. We might see both pitchers' repertoires really start to get a little bit more sharp as they get into this game.
Well, it's amazing how much the weather changes even as the summer progresses. We had rainouts early on. It seemed like we couldn't get a dry day here at the ballpark for the first few weeks. And now we haven't had any rain since it feels like almost a month or so now. So it's
some pretty threatening clouds right over the ballpark. So I don't think they're rain clouds, but it's a little bit overcast here.
1 ball, 2 strikes. The pitch from Grider. Third base. Nice backhand by Lacasse. Goes to second for 1. That's all they get. But they get the lead runner, and there's 1 away.
You'll see 4 pitches from Andrew Grider: a fastball, cutter, a slider, and a change. So that's 2 fastballs effectively, 1 more traditional, 1 with a little bit more bite to it. And then the off-speed changeup and the slider. Jeff McLeod is a really interesting player to look at a stat sheet of.
It's the first offering foul.
Usually you see a basic similarity to average and on-base percentage, but with McLeod, 211 average, 412 on-base percentage. So I went and looked at the walks, okay? He's played 14 games, he's walked 8 times. That's good. It's really good. Whoa.
This one hit hard to right center field. And that ball is going to be caught and then dropped by Avery Tuck. He had it in his glove, just couldn't put the squeeze on it. Topley had to hold up to be sure. He stays at second. And that's going to be E9 on the right fielder.
McLeod showing the pop in the bat. So just to finish up my story, 8 walks in 14 games, that's really good. But it still didn't show the craziness and the difference between the average and the on-base percentage. Then I noticed he's been hit with 5 pitches in 14 games. First off, super painful. Second off, really weird. Third, between the walks and the hit by pitches, we figured out the difference in the 2 numbers.
Wow. Well, those guys who can get on base beyond just base hits are certainly an asset to have in your lineup.
Maple Leafs will be hoping that's sustainable. Obviously, the hit by pitches will probably go down, but a guy who can draw 8 walks in a short period of time has a good eye at the plate.
2 balls, no strikes to Connor Lewis, the center fielder.
And it's sneaky because some managers and fans still look at average as the primary stat. So you see a guy batting 8th, 211 batting average. Okay, the pitcher might consider relaxing just a little bit, but you can't against a guy that has that kind of eye.
That's a major league pop-up. Deep in the infield, it's Branfianfante making the catch, and there's 2 down. Well, a major league player that comes to mind, Yasmani Grandal, is very similar with his numbers. The batting average does not reflect his value to the team because he draws so many walks and has been hit quite a bit this year as well.
He's a guy that would be evaluated very differently 20 years ago than today.
Yeah. Jordan Castaldo walked and scored to open the game. And he'll get a second look at Andrew Greider here on the top of the second inning.
This is where that error in right field does kind of sting because you'd be out of this inning at the bottom of the order.
And the ball gets away from McDonald. Both runners move up 90 feet.
Now the pressure's back on with Castaldo, Takamatsu, and Mara.
So Topley at third, McLeod at second. First base is open with 2 out. Got Garrett Takamatsu on deck, though, so you want to come right after Castaldo here.
Yeah. You can't fool around with the leadoff hitter in this scenario.
Lefty-lefty matchup. And the 1-0 pitch. Low ball 2.
Some umpires give that. So another mental note for that pitcher.
With 33 runs scored now, Jordan Castaldo continues to lead the IBL in that category. And he's ahead here, 3 balls, no strikes.
And a guy who can, and Barrie fans are very familiar, a guy who can both get on base enough to score that many runs and slug runs in himself, extraordinarily valuable.
And it's ball 4. So Greider will face Garrett Takamatsu with the bases loaded and 2 out here in the second inning. Castaldo has drawn 2 walks tonight.
The second baseman, number 4, Garrett Takamatsu.
Sounds dramatic, but this might be Andrew Greider's tough step out of the entire evening. Garrett Takamatsu is their best hitter. He is their 2 hitter. He's got 7 home runs on the year in 20 games, 26 RBI in 20 games, bases loaded, 2 out. This is the big time right here.
Swinging on the first offering, and he rips right through it and misses strike 1.
Wanted home run number 8. Do you think he'll be back swinging with this at-bat, or with this swing too?
Probably. Depends what he's looking for. If he's looking fastball, I think so. Let's see. 0-1 in the dirt, and it's blocked by McDonald.
He was looking off speed. He got it down in the dirt. Not fooled by it.
2 home runs behind his teammate Justin Mara, who leads the IBL with 9. Swing and a miss.
Ooh.
1 and 2.
Overpowered him twice now.
Pitch had a little downward movement on it.
Yeah.
And Takamatsu swung right over top of it.
You almost wonder if the batter will be expecting another pitch outside the strike zone, so the pitcher might circle back and just do that again.
And time is called.
Because the predictable move would be to waste another pitch. Because you can, but you can hammer the fastball right back in there. He's been pretty lost on it the first 2 times.
1-2 from Grider. Called strike 3. Garrett Takamatsu frozen on that 1-2 pitch on the outside part of the plate. Down go the Leafs. They strand. The bases loaded. Through 1.5. Maple Leafs and Baycats tied at 1.
Inning number 2 is sponsored by Kingdom Bounce, specializing in kid-friendly inflatable structures. Visit them at kingdombounce.com. Rock 95 and the Barrie Baycats are giving one lucky kid the chance to be the honorary Rock 95 Junior Baycats for each home game this season. Kids ages 7 to 11 years old will have a chance to enter and win this exciting and unique experience. All they have to do to win is sign up online at rock95.com and listen to their favorite morning radio station when the Rock 95 Morning Crew draws a winner for every home game this season. The prize consists of 2 adult tickets to the game, a t-shirt, a team hat, complimentary hot dog, pop, and fries, and the opportunity to announce the Baycats' 3rd inning. You can sign up at rock95.com. Second for the Baycats, the catcher number 26, Jake McDonald.
Bottom of the second here at Coates Stadium with the Maple Leafs and the Baycats tied at 1 early on. I'm Ben Davy along with Patrick Melbourne. And it's the bottom third of the order for Barrie. McDonald, Anderson, and Burns due up here in the bottom of the second inning.
McDonald got the day off on Saturday. Tyler Plumpton was catching, so he'll be fresh and out there.
A run on 3 hits for the Leafs. They've stranded 4 already, including the bases loaded in that second inning. Barrie 1 run, 3 hits, an error, and they've stranded 2. Fouled off left side, and the count is no balls and 2 strikes. Brandon Lyons with a delivery, and that one's hit in the left field for a base hit. Both of these teams have gotten the leadoff man aboard in both the first and second innings so far tonight.
Number 34, James Anderson.
Baycats really like what they're seeing from McDonald, I think. He's had a bit of a slow time with the bat, but if that turns around, his defense is really, really good. They got him recently. He was playing in Germany over the last few years, or at least the last couple of years, for the Solingen Alligators, which is a fantastic team name.
Alligators,
yeah,
love it.
Great team name.
The Milwaukee Milkmen came up in one of our broadcasts earlier this year. But I have to say the Alligators might be just a notch ahead of them on the coolness factor. 1-1 the count to James Anderson. It's in his 17th game for the Baycats this season and the .220 average.
I was informed that McDonald showed some pretty good pop in the bat during his time in Germany. So,
how do you say alligator in German?
Oh, I don't know.
They go to second for 1, on to first, and it is in time for the double play. Salazzo to Takamatsu to Toppoli, and just like that, there's 2 down in the second. Five, 4, double play. 5-4-3 double play. Shortstop Carson Burns will bat with nobody on and 2 out.
Baycats love getting Carson Burns back, missed some time. He solidifies that shortstop position, which is a really premium position, I like to say, on the infield, because a lot of people compare it to second base and third base and think anybody can play shortstop, but it's really not that easy. It is easily the hardest one, and many players will tell you, you're the captain of the field when you play shortstop.
That one drops into right field for a base hit, and Carson Burns is aboard with 2 out here in the bottom of the 2nd inning. So it's back to the top of the order for Jake Wilson.
The center fielder, number 15, Jake Wilson.
Wilson hitting .371.
Yeah, and recently he's had a stint where he's looked eager. So the first pitch is important. Way outside, I think the pitcher knew that. Easy to watch Wilson over the last couple of games. He's been jumping on the first pitch and even the second pitch of the at-bat, really hoping to generate hard contact early in the at-bat instead of waiting.
Well, when you have that reputation and the pitcher decides to not come at you, maybe a first pitch fastball right over the plate in the first pitch, that could sometimes work in your favor, getting ahead in the count.
Once you don't get that first pitch, you reset in the box, and you might think about going deeper into the at-bat, learning the repertoire a bit more. Or not.
Into right field, and that's a base hit.
Sometimes you don't need to, Ben.
Racing to third is Carson Burns, and that puts runners on the corners.
He's such a gifted hitter, isn't he? He just goes up there and locks in on what the pitcher's throwing. He does not need a high sample size to learn what he's going to get on the mound.
Burns didn't hesitate either as he rounded second. He had third base in his sights all the way. And the Baycats now threatening to take the lead for the first time tonight at a conference on the mound to talk things over with right-hander Brendan Lyons.
It's a tough part of the order. Jeff Cowan, then Ryan Rio, and Marcel Lacoste. So
Toronto with the 2nd highest ERA in the league, 7.07. Only Kitchener's staff has allowed more. Barrie's team batting average .284. That's 5th out of 7 teams.
the top 2/3 of this lineup are the toughest 2/3. So if you can get to facing Rio Lacoste in inning number 3 instead of inning number 2, then that helps you get deeper into it. Big at bat right here for Jeff Cowan.
Cowan with a fielder's choice and a run scored. And an RBI opportunity here with 2 away. Lyons looks the runner back. Burns at third, Wilson at first. Wilson goes. First pitch a called strike. The throw down to the shortstop, the tag, and not in time. Lions thought they had him. He did a little bit of a bounce on the mound there, thinking that he had the third out of the inning.
That's where the speed from Wilson comes in. It sounds simple, you know, speed, base runner, but speed and stealing instinct are two very different things, and Wilson didn't get the best jump on there. He used his extremely fast natural speed to really speed up about halfway through that stolen base route. Just got in there. And I'm not saying he's bad at stealing or anything. I think he's good at stealing, but he's not quite as aggressive, which means he won't necessarily take the bigger leads and get the best jump. So he went a little bit later than maybe a David LeBlanc would and used his speed to make up for it, and he can do that. It's good.
Eighth stolen base of the year for Wilson.
Watch Wilson on the top of your screen again. I know I say that at second base, but it's interesting to see how different players react there on second base. So right now with the pitcher on the mound, he's staying right on the bag, and he did that last time too. And he's going to take a couple of steps here. It takes a few more actually this time, but he stayed first couple of steps for most of his time at first and second.
0-2 pitch is hit to the left field, and it's down the line and foul.
And I think Wilson's adjusting now at second, because the first pitch of the at-bat, he only took a couple of steps there and then decided he was going on contacts and was not in the place he wanted to be, was not far enough down. So that time he adjusted, took 3 or 4 steps down, and he would have been in position to maybe even score. Getting half the way down the line there, he would have made it to third easily on that hit if it had stayed fair. Might have even scored.
Cowan goes the other way now, And that's down the line foul as well. Cowan a little early with his swing, 2 pitches ago, then a little late on that one. Let's see if he can straighten it out here with a 0-2 count. Righty-righty matchup. Here's the pitch. Over the mound, second baseman makes the play over at first in time. And down go the Baycats. They are unable to score. They strand 2, and through 2, it's Toronto 1, Barrie 1. You're watching Baycats TV.
For Barrie in the second, no runs on 3 hits, no errors, 2 runners left on base. Inning number 3 sponsored by Kurt's Coolers, mobile refrigerated freezer trailer rentals. Kurt's Coolers.
Hey fans, it's Rob Daniels, in-game host for the Barrie Baycats, checking in under the tent here at the merch shop, shopbaycats.com to get...
Trying to find replacement springs for your classic car can be like finding a needle in a haystack. That's where Complete Spring can help. Complete Spring Service specializes in vehicle suspension and spring service for all makes and models. Visit Complete Spring right off the Dunlop exit on the 400 in Barrie.
The most popular item here at the merch shop this season.
I think our hats are our most popular. They sell pretty much probably every game.
The hats for sure, and the Throwback Thursday ones, those are looking absolutely beautiful. Get your merch here at shopbaycats.com. They're under the tent to the right of the entrance at Coach Stadium.
Top of the third here at Coates Stadium. It's the Leafs and the Baycats tied at 1. Our third inning is sponsored by Kurt's Coolers Mobile Refrigerated Freezer Trailer Rentals. Justin Mara, Sean Riley, and John Salazzo. 3, 4, 5 all due up here for the Leafs in the top of the third inning. Ryder has pitched his way out of a couple of jams already tonight. I mentioned earlier that both teams have had the leadoff man aboard in each of the 2 innings so far.
Yep. He overpowered Takamatsu last time with the fastball, so he'll have a lot of confidence in that pitch.
This one hits a center field, and backpedaling is Wilson. Has a read on it, and he takes it for the out, 1 away.
And that's one that sounds loud, but you can afford that to deep center. Generating contact, not a bad thing.
Leafs, of course, play in a ballpark with very shallow fences. 299 down the foul lines at Christie Pitts and 330 to straightaway center field.
Yeah.
Not sure if that one was hit 330. It may have been.
And Greider's done that a couple of times, generating the contact out. And that benefits the Leafs at their home ballpark. It doesn't necessarily benefit them here. Obviously, we saw Tuck misplay one, but most times he'll get that, and Greider can still rely on getting that in the future.
A 75-foot difference between the center field wall here at Coates Stadium and Christie Pitts. 405 here in Barrie. Sean Riley to the plate. He had an RBI single in the first inning to get Toronto on the board. Their lone run so far tonight. Former Baycat. Always has had some pretty big games here as a visitor as well. Swings and misses at that offering from Greider. Strike 2.
Nice pitch. It fell out bottom of the zone.
Toronto's batting average .310 is the best in the IBL.
And that's something that, whether you have a big park or a small park, that's not going to affect you that much. You have to be a good hitter to stay up that high at the top of the batting order chart, or the batting average chart. Have a good collection of guys.
Baycats pitching, .488 ERA for the staff. That's second lowest in the league, more than a whole run higher than London. And another foul. The count holds at 2 balls and 2 strikes to Sean Riley.
Baycats really hoping that a third and fourth starter emerge clearly. I think Marshall Leishman has shown that he can be one of those guys at times, and now Grider having some good outings. They want guys to emerge behind Grieveson and Benitez.
Well, with Leishman and Grider, that gives you a pair of lefties to put with Benitez, the right-hander, and then Grieveson. That would give you a pretty strong 4-man starting staff going into the playoffs.
Yeah, Benitez and Grieveson are having career years right now in the IBL. So.
And you can stagger those lefty-righty
Yeah.
as well. Now Riley steps out with a 2-2 count. Final regular season matchup between these Highway 400 rivals. The pitch. Through the shortstop, Carson Burns. Into left center field. Scampering over for it is Cowan. And Riley will be held at first. Second single of the game for veteran Sean Riley. John Salazzo, the third baseman, comes to the plate.
The third base, number 17, John Salazzo.
Sean Riley's Triple Crown in 2015 was the league's first since 1981, Ben. He came one hit away from winning it the previous year, too. So, just incredible from Sean Riley. If you're curious to know the final stats from that 2015 year, he hit .444, 17 home runs, 48 RBI.
Wow, staggering numbers.
I mean, it's all right. It's okay if you like your hitters hitting .444.
Been in this league quite a while.
Oh, yeah.
Hit on the ground to second. You go to short for 1. The relay to first. Not in time. Oh, a close play at first. Wow, very close play at first base. Mackenzie Wright says nope.
Grider
And
halfway
the inning
between.
continues.
He was halfway between the pitching mound and the dugout, hoping that call would end the inning.
The first base, number 7, David Poplar.
So Riley retired 4-6. If we were in the major leagues, the headsets would be out on that one for
Oh,
sure.
100%.
That was a very close call. It did not go Barrie's way. So it keeps the inning alive, and Damon Topley now comes to the plate. Topley hits the first offering into right center field. That'll drop for a base hit.
Not Grider's best pitch there, to be honest. Not a ton of movement right over the plate. I think it shook him a little bit that play at first didn't go the way he wanted it to. He wanted it to. So now he has to lock in, get that confidence back up to where we saw at the beginning of the inning following that Takamatsu at bat. Yeah.
Grider working quickly to Dan Mara, misses ball 1.
Overthrew it just a bit. Now you see him windmilling his hand, or his arm, excuse me, just to get back fresh.
Mara 0 for 1 tonight. He's ahead in the count here, though, 2-0. Jeff McLeod, the right fielder, is on deck.
2 pitches upstairs. He's not going to get him to chase on that, so. If this one's upstairs, he's missing a spot. No, he hit that spot perfectly. If you see where the catcher was set up, it was just on the outside part of the plate. Middle right quadrant if you're standing right behind the batter's box angle. So he's still hitting his spots when he needs to. Just can't overthrow.
Pitch from Grider. Called strike, and it's 2-2.
See, that pitch right there was what he wanted to do earlier in the at-bat when he was throwing them just a little bit high in the zone, overthrowing just a bit. Now he's got his location back after that pitch, down in the zone. Catcher setting up outside, trying to get him to chase.
2-2 from Grider, and it's in the dirt, blocked by McDonald, and the count is full, down 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Just a little bit low.
Salazzo at second, Topley at first. Leafs trying to get back on top. They led 1-0 before Barrie tied it. And a chance here with 2 on and 2 out in the 3rd inning. Grider with a payoff pitch, runners go. High fly ball, right center. And it hangs in the park for Avery Tuck. Plenty of time to put that away for the out. So the Leafs held off the board in the third. We remain tied at 1 as we head to the bottom of the inning. You're watching Baycats TV.
First run on the second, no runs on 2 hits, no errors, 2 runners left on base. And please welcome 7-year-old Michael Harris to the booth. Michael attends Pine River Elementary School in Angus. He loves watching baseball, playing baseball, and hopes to attend the Baycats camp next summer. Welcome, Michael. He's going to lead us through the Baycats third inning.
Baycats come to bat in the bottom of the third inning and looking for their first lead of the night, tied 1-1 with Ryan Rio, Marcel Lacasse, and Avery Tuck all due up to the plate for Barrie here in the third inning.
Rio's another guy that's looked early in at-bats for opportunities. I remember first pitch in his first at-bat on Saturday. He just got under one and popped it up to left field. So he's open to swing early in the at-bat too.
Big RBI double in the bottom of the first to get Barrie on the board. Takes the first offering, ball 1. Baycats have scored 56 runs in 4 games over the Maple Leafs this season. That accounts for almost 37% of their total offense this year. And the way the numbers play out, they've played Toronto just over 17% of their schedule. A lot of offense both ways in the 4 games between these clubs so far this year. 1 ball, 1 strike to Ryan Rio. And he fouls it off left side, 1-2.
First one missed the cars. Oh, I'm not sure that one was so lucky.
That's why you take an Uber to the game.
Yeah, if you go to Coates Stadium, park far away. Tip number 1.
Yeah.
Big parking lot. Take the walk.
You can tell true IBL fans because the first cars here are the ones farthest from the stadium.
And there's a third. Yeah, I think he's 1 for 3 in hitting anything that made a noise over there.
And there are other diamonds here at the Barrie Community Sports Complex, and I'm sure that on at least a couple of occasions we've had balls end up on those fields. One to our left here on the third base side, and then one beyond the right field fence. Across the road. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Rio. Here's the pitch. The side of the count is full.
Rio hits a lot of balls to the left side, so it's interesting that they're giving him a lot of gap over in left field.
He's got power both ways.
They're almost shading him to the right, actually.
Takes, called, strike 3. Spins, takes the helmet off, and heads back to the dugout. There's 1 away.
Yep, Rio knew it. Second it crossed the plate.
He was looking for something else. And Marcel Lacasse comes to the plate. Lacasse 1 for 1 tonight with a single in the first inning.
Brendan Lyons done a good job this game keeping the walks down. That's been his big issue in the first couple of starts. He had 7 walks in his first 11 innings in the IBL this season, so doing a good job of locating better today.
That's an interesting observation. This one skied to left field. Easy play for Castaldo, who's there. And 2 away. Baycats have had 6 base runners, but none of them have been a free pass from Brandon Lyons.
Yeah, and Lyons averaged just under a hit an inning. 10 hits, 11 innings, so. Usually there's at least 1 opening per inning if you can spot it. But the dynamic shifts if he's not giving up the free pass.
Avery Tuck, the right fielder, struck out swinging in the first. Another pop-up. This one will stay in the infield, and it's going to be the catcher.
Oh.
And he dropped it. Well, that was Mara's ball all the way. Oh, they're going to rule that it was a catch. I can't believe this.
Wait. Oh, and Josh Matlow has something to say about this, and so does the crowd. He dropped it behind the plate, but I guess they're calling interference.
Oh, okay.
I guess they're
I
calling
didn't
that he was.
see any contact.
Yeah, I guess they're calling that he was interfered with behind the plate, and it stopped him from making a catch that should have been his.
Maybe Tuck just caught a piece of him on the way by. I'm not sure. I didn't see that. And again, without the benefit of a replay, we have no way of knowing for sure. In any event, it's the 3rd out of the inning, and that will do it for Barrie. First 3 up, 3 down inning for the Baycats tonight as well. Through 3, we're tied at 1 here at Coates Stadium.
No run, no hit, no errors, no runners left on base.
Fans, how about a hand for Michael tonight? What a great job he's done for us tonight. One more.
Go to the top of the 4th inning. Baycats Maple Leafs tied at 1. I'm Ben Davy with Patrick Melbourne. And that Barrie inning coming to an end on a very controversial pop-up that was dropped by catcher Justin Mara. The umpire ruling that contact was made between the catcher and Tuck. Although it appeared it might have been Mara that actually touched Tuck on the back as he went around him, but it was really not a factor at all in Mara not making that catch. But the umpire calling it interference nonetheless. So that will be debated on social media tonight and in coffee shops tomorrow morning, I'm sure.
Well, that's one where anybody watching on Baycats TV that has the ability to go back. Obviously, we're at the ballpark. We can't go back in real time. But if you can go back and take another look and see it again, you'll have your chance to make your opinion on it. And, yeah, we'll see post-game what everybody says about it.
Jeff McLeod reached on an error in the 2nd inning. 1 ball, 1 strike to him here. Connor Lewis, the number 9 hitter, is on deck. That one fell back to the screen, 1 and 2.
McLeod's that hitter I mentioned with the big difference between his on-base percentage and his batting average, so you have to be careful dancing around the strike zone. Just go in with strikes. He's hitting .211.
And the count is even now, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Watch McLeod next time he goes in, see how close he gets inside the batter's box. He has one of those batting stances where he's right up near the plate, and that might be a factor on why he gets hit with the pitches as often as he does. You see, especially from the lefties, that ball curving in. It's almost right near his shoulder before it dips back toward the middle of the plate. So you can see where he might run into that a little bit. It's not something that's going to be sustainable at this pace, but you might see it more than average.
Called strike 3, down goes McLeod. 2nd strikeout of the game for Grider. And the number 9 hitter, Connor Lewis, comes out.
Center fielder number 3, Connor Lewis.
Yeah, you almost wonder if Greider's moved away from his strikeout stuff early on to save it for later. That 2-inning relief appearance, he struck out 4 guys. In his last start, he struck out 6. So Greider's got more K stuff in the tank.
Fly ball, right field, straight away for Tuck. He reaches up and makes the catch, 2 down. 2 quick outs for Andrew Greider here in the 4th.
He's pitching to contact today, and it's mostly worked for him. There have been a couple of areas where it didn't. A ground ball that was late at first. Really speedy runner at the plate, and then that play in right earlier on from Tuck, which I'm sure he'll admit that he should get that, and he will probably get the next one. It's those big fly balls. It looks easy and routine, but sometimes the spin off the bat is really, really tough and can come at a bit of a surprise. So as long as it happens early in the game in low leverage spots, it's not something that will ruin your day.
Former IBL MVP Jordan Castaldo now to the plate for the 3rd time tonight. Greider will take a walk. Stretch things out a little bit and get ready here for the top of the order for the Maple Leafs.
Castaldo's mission right now is to get on base. It's not a slugging mission, taken all the way there. It's not a hit a home run at bat for Castaldo. It's an extend the inning at bat. He's got decent speed at first, so get on and then let Takamatsu have another try to try and crack Greider.
Called strike, 1-1.
Takamatsu is going to be sitting fastball when he gets up because that's what he missed 3 times in the last at bat.
Look at it on a large screen.
Each team with a run in the 1st inning tonight, and that's where we sit here in the top of the 4th.
Things are getting better.
2-1 the count here to Jordan Castaldo. Here's the pitch from Greider. Called strike, and it's 2-2.
His strikeouts might also rise as it gets really nice and cool and clear here at Coates Stadium.
Greider comes set for the belt, the 2-2 on the ground. Loved by first baseman, over to the pitcher covering. Anderson to Greider, and it's in time for the out. Down go the Leafs, 3 up, 3 down for the first time tonight through 3.5. We're tied at 1 here at Coates Stadium.
First round in the 4th. No runs, no hits, no errors, no runners left on base. Inning number 4 is sponsored by the Cage Barrie, Barrie's only indoor public batting cage, the Cage Barrie.
Thanks, Mike. We're behind home plate tonight. Want to remind you that we have our social media contest kicking off right now, where you have the opportunity to win a $50 gift card to the merch shop right here. That's the Baycats merch shop, shopbaycats.com, and some Baycats swag. Okay, so what you have to do is upload your photo or video tonight of the ballpark or your favorite baseball player, food, anything to do with Coates Stadium here tonight, and upload it to social media at Barrie Baycats on Instagram stories is how you tag us. Use the hashtag Baycats, and you're automatically entered to win that gift card to the merch shop and some Baycats swag tonight. Okay, so get social with us. Follow on Instagram at Barrie Baycats. Good luck.
Being up the 4th for the Baycats, the second baseman number 8, Barrie.
Bottom of the 4th, Barrie and Toronto tied at 1. A run on 5 hits for the Leafs, a run on 6 hits for the Baycats. Toronto is stranded 6, Barrie is stranded 4. And it's Infante, McDonald, and Anderson due up for Barrie here in the bottom of the 4th inning to face Brendan Lyons. First pitch swinging, and it's into left field. Got under the glove of Dan Mara. No play. And a leadoff single for Branfi Infante.
By the end of that run, he was grabbing his leg just a little bit, upper leg. Hopefully he's okay. Looks like he's fine now, but maybe took a rough step at the end there.
As Jake McDonald comes to the plate, these teams played a game on July 21st at Christie Pitts that both clubs will remember for a very long time. It was a 20-19 Barrie win on a Wednesday night in Toronto. The Baycats almost blew a 15-run lead in that game. They jumped out to an 8-0 lead over the Leafs after 2 innings, led 19-4 into the bottom of the 7th. The Leafs scored 4 in the 7th, 10 in the 8th, made it 20-18 Barrie going into the top of the 9th. The Leafs sent 16 men to the plate in that bottom of the 8th inning. A grand slam by Garrett Takamatsu highlighted that 10-run 8th. Jonathan Salazzo, a shortstop who had to come on in relief in the 8th inning there, shut down the Baycats 1-2-3 in the 9th. Sean Riley hit a solo home run with 2 out in the 9th to make it 20-19. And then Brad Grieveson struck out Justin Mara to end the ball game. 20-19 Barrie.
Infante shaking off his leg just a little bit there. He's taking a big lead over there at first at times, so I think he's okay. Just took an awkward last couple of steps, I think.
Baycats looking to erase the memory of Saturday night's collapse here against the London Majors, which did not go their way.
Yeah, they want to keep the positive energy, get rid of any negative, because most of the negative came in that 9th inning.
And that game on July 21st against Toronto certainly would have been one of the biggest collapses in franchise history had they not held on by a run in that 9th inning.
It's funny how the 9th inning can change your entire perception of a game.
Right side foul, and the count is 1-2 to Jake McDonald. Well, the Leafs made 5 errors in that ball game, and it was an absolute Barrie rout right from the get-go. And tough situation as both teams were pretty thin on bullpen help that night. I mentioned Salazzo came in to pitch for the Leafs in that 9th inning. And when he shut the Baycats down 1-2-3, that set the stage for a very interesting bottom of the 9th. Runner goes. Pitch is high, no throw. And trotting into second is Infante.
Yeah, great to see Infante running at full steam right there. It proves that he's just about fine.
So the count is 2-2 to McDonald. James Anderson, the first baseman, on deck. Pulled his swing back, and the count is 3-2. Brendan Lyons, the right-hander. Facing right-hander Jake McDonald. The pitch. Skied to right center field. And racing over is McLeod. It's over his head and off the wall. Rounding third is Infante. They'll send him home. No throw as it's cut off. And it's an RBI double for Jake McDonald.
There's that pop in the bat. Hit it to right field, right in the perfect spot. And they really want his bat to get alive, and I think that could be the first step in doing so.
First lead of the night for the Baycats as they're up 2-1 with nobody out here in the bottom of the 4th.
34, James Anderson.
James Anderson grounded into a double play in the 2nd, and he'll bat with a man in scoring position and nobody out here in the 4th.
It's interesting that we're still at a low-scoring type of game because both these pitchers have pitched to contact today and not had huge stuff. So when they start getting a little bit more tired, opportunities will open up like that.
Down the line and into the left field. Rounding third is McDonald. Throw comes into second, and safe at second with a double is James Anderson. Back-to-back doubles for the Baycats, and they lead 3-1.
Yeah, the downside to pitching to contact is when you start getting a little bit fatigued out there, your stuff gets flat, and then you're still pitching to contact, and then it's just flat stuff going over the plate, and we're getting a meeting on the mound. It might be the end of the day for Brandon Lyons.
Well, his pitch count is still just 54. 38 strikes, 16 balls.
Yeah, they're leaving him in there.
There are bodies in the Toronto bullpen, but nobody throwing at the moment. Looks like they might get a little action going here.
Yeah. See a number there. Give me a moment.
Carson Burns, the number 9 hitter, comes to the plate here in the 4th inning. The 4th inning is brought to you by The Cage, Barrie's only indoor public batting cage. And the Baycats looking to add to a 2-run lead. And stepping off is Lions. Here's the pitch. Second base. In the midsection of Takamatsu. Still got the throw off, though, and in time for the out. Great play by Takamatsu as he stayed with that all the way, despite not fielding it cleanly. Runner goes to third, and there's one out in the inning.
The center fielder, number 15, Jake Wilson.
Jake Wilson has 2 singles tonight, and he comes to the plate for the 3rd time. First offering from Lions misses, ball 1. Wilson hitting .371 coming into tonight's game. Had a 1-for-5 night against London here on Saturday.
You don't often see Wilson that far behind on pitches.
Well, he comes to the plate with an aggressive approach more often than not. Often
Yeah.
first pitch swinging. Fouls that one off, and it's 1-2.
Yeah, he timed that one much better. Still didn't center it up, but that's the next step.
Lions with the leg kick of the 1-2, and it's hit on the ground, too short. One play, that's over to first, in time for the out. The run scores as James Anderson crosses, and Barrie makes it a 4-1 lead. Good job by Wilson just to put the ball in play, get that runner in.
Yeah, it was a progression. He was behind, and then he centered, and then he got the timing right, and then he did what he needed to do.
Every run matters when you play the Maple Leafs, as we've seen many times this year. Cowan with a nice bunt down the third base line. No play. That's about as perfect as a bunt as you can execute. Yet another weapon in veteran Jeff Cowan's arsenal as he can bunt himself aboard even with nobody out.
He's done just about everything this year for the Baycats. It's been fantastic to watch.
2 outs for Ryan Rio, the DH. First pitch swinging, and he fouls it over near the Barrie dugout. Rio, one of 2 Lions strikeout victims tonight.
Rio is almost the opposite of Jake Wilson, where he's better deeper into the count. Wilson is a gifted hitter in that he can figure out a pitcher really early on.
Off the glove of Mara, and no throw. Jeff Cowan takes second.
On the counter of that, Rio's the guy where the first swing is usually him trying to foul it off and just get a rhythm getting back in the batter's box, and it's later in the at-bat where he really starts to shine more. It works for him.
The leg kick and the delivery from Lions, and this one hit hard. Right center field, that drops. Cowan rounding third. Up with it is McLeod. It's an RBI single for Ryan Rio as Cowan scores, and it's 5-1 Barrie.
Showed it again there. First pitch was a waste pitch, a foul ball, getting the timing and rhythm back established in the batter's box, and then that pitch, again, perfect from Ryan Rio, who was just having a heck of a season for the Barrie Baycats.
Another mound visit. Barrie with 5 hits in this inning after Lions held them to just 3 hits through 3 innings. And we'll see, they're going to call for the left-hander here. And that will be the end of the night for Brandon Lyons. So he will hand the ball over to the Toronto bullpen. We'll see our first Maple Leaf reliever of the night when we return. Fourth inning, it's 5-1 Barrie. You're watching Baycats TV.
Defensive change to the Maple Leafs in the pitch number 37, Adam Mara.
Marcel Lacasse will be the 8th Baycat to hit in this inning. He comes to the plate with Rio at first and 2 away, and he will face left-hander Adam Mara.
Adam Mara, born in 1994 in Toronto, Ontario. This season 1-1 with a 5.60 ERA, 8 games, all in relief. He's pitched 17 innings, struck out 9, walked 7, averages less than a hit an inning.
Lacasse tonight, 1 for 2, has a single.
Righties will find Mara easier to hit off of than lefties, just because of the lefty-lefty angle.
A high, shallow pop-up, and it's just out of the reach of Dan Mara on the shortstop. And Lacasse is aboard.
Lacasse took advantage of the lack of velocity on that pitch. It's a deceptive angle, but you're not seeing a ton of overpowering velocity from the hill. So if you can figure out that early in the at-bat, you should be okay later on to figure out that sidearm approach. Sentence took a while to formulate in my brain, but I got there in the end.
I had no doubts.
Yeah, there we go.
Wow, pulled the string on that first one, and that fooled Tuck. He was way in front of it, 0-1.
A control pitcher, a finesse pitcher is what they're called generally. And that's what they're trying for Mara against the left-handed hitters. First Lacasse and now Tuck. And yeah, that's where the angle really starts to fool you. Especially after seeing a pretty traditional pitcher like Lyons earlier on in this game. It's an adjustment. It takes a few pitches. The longer this at-bat goes, again, advantage goes to the hitter more every pitch.
0-2 is a called strike, and frozen is Tuck, and that does it for the Baycats. However, they plate 4 and lead 5-1 after 4 innings here at Coates Stadium. You're watching Baycats TV.
4 runs on 6 hits with no errors, 2 runners left on base.
1505.
Inning number 5 is sponsored by SeatGiants.ca, the official ticket marketplace of the Barrie Baycats. Get all your major event tickets within North America in Canadian funds. SeatGiants.ca.
Thank you very much, Mike. It's Rob Daniels checking in once again. Third baseline tonight. If we have any birthdays, please track me down tonight so I can get your shout-outs on this evening at Coates Stadium. In the meantime, I'm joined by quite the rambunctious bunch who want to start the wave tonight on the third baseline. We're going to try and get it all around the stadium tonight. And since we're winning by 4 white right now, I think everybody's in a good mood that we can get this wave all the way around the park. We're going to... Ready? Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Let's Baycats fans get this W tonight. Good job.
Leading up the fifth for the Maple Leafs is second base number 4, Garrett Takamatsu.
Ben Davy and Patrick Melbourne at Coates Stadium in Springwater Township. We go to the fifth inning, and it is brought to you by Seat Giant, the official ticket marketplace of the Barrie Baycats. Get all of your major event tickets within North America in Canadian funds. A 4-run Barrie fourth has them in front 5-1 here as we head to the top of the fifth inning.
Up and away from Grider.
Takamatsu 1 for 2 tonight with a single and a strikeout.
Remember that Grider overpowered Takamatsu with 3 fastballs his last at-bat, so you'll be seeing the heat during this at-bat. We'll see if Takamatsu can adjust this time. He's a very good hitter, so it won't be that easy.
Grider comes set and the pitch. And he misses that one away, 2 balls, no strikes. Andrew Grider, 25-year-old left-hander from Cochrane, Alberta. Deals the 2-0 and a pop foul. Left side and well out of play.
I think there are a couple of Baycats this year from Alberta. Seeing players from all across Canada play in the Inter-County Baseball League.
Grider looking for his second win of the season. His team up here, 5-1 in the fifth. Here's the pitch. Just missed, and it's 3-1.
Just a bit high. So now, 3-1, I think you see fastball again. Maybe just on the outside part of the plate, still maybe in the high area. Yeah, too high.
Ball 4, Takamatsu aboard. And Justin Mara comes to the plate. He's 0 for 2 tonight.
I think you have to take advantage on the hill of when you're overpowering a star and try and overpower them again until it stops working, because in some situations, you know, it's a less talented hitter coming up next and you can afford to walk him, and maybe it's the smart move to not play with fire again. But now it's Justin Mara and Sean Riley up, who are both extraordinary hitters. So getting Takamatsu out would have been a priority for Grider on the mound.
Takamatsu with the lead. James Anderson holding him on. And behind in the count here is Grider, 2-0 to Justin Mara. This is the second of a 4-game home stretch for the Baycats. Kitchener visits Thursday. London is here on Saturday. That one's fouled over our heads. Then the weekend ends on a Sunday night game between the Baycats and the Majors in London. Leafs right back at it tomorrow night at home. They'll host the Kitchener Panthers at 7:30 at Christie Pitts. And then looking ahead to this weekend, they travel to London Friday night, then host Hamilton Sunday afternoon. High fly ball. Jeff Cowan under it, and he's got it for the out, and there's one away. So both these teams facing the Kitchener Panthers before the end of the week. Leafs face them tomorrow, and then Kitchener heads north up the 400 here Thursday night for our next broadcast.
Wonder where Cowan will be playing defensively that day. He shows a lot of defensive versatility, and he's pretty solid wherever he plays. Played second base on Saturday, I believe, at their left today.
Yeah, he's played first base.
Yep.
Versatile veteran. Sean Riley to the DH with a pair of singles tonight. So 7 now away from that 1,000 milestone. Think he'll get it tonight?
Probably not.
Well, it's Toronto and Barrie.
Yeah,
I wouldn't rule it out.
Stranger things have happened.
0-1 from Grider. On the ground, foul. The count is 0-2. Andrew Grider for 1 out, 1 on here in the 5th inning.
Watching the lead off first. It's not big, but it's a little bit more aggressive.
This one hits a shallow center field. Sprinting in is Wilson. Dives, and he can't come up with it. And it gets by him. Rounding second is Takamatsu. He's into third, and it puts runners at the corners with 1 out.
Wilson might reconsider diving for a play like that next time. It's been a couple of games now where he might just be content with letting it drop in front of him in hindsight.
Well, it's a high-risk, high-reward situation. Unfortunately for Wilson, that one didn't get too far away, but Takamatsu was able to get to third because that ball did get by him.
You just don't want to dive to the point where, I don't know, it's a really tricky balance to make, because if you nail the dive, then you look brilliant.
Yeah.
But if you don't, then it goes south a lot more than just playing it off a hop would.
And he's made some spectacular catches this season, no question, don't get us wrong, but that's not the first time this year Wilson has tried to make that heroic play, and it actually ended up doing more harm than good.
So he's going to learn to balance that just a little bit more, I think.
This one hits a center field, and Wilson running over, and it's off the wall. It'll be picked up by Jeff Cowan. Actually, Wilson will grab it as it got between the outfielders. Takamatsu in to score easily. And the Leafs now with a runners at second and third.
Meeting on the mound, Jake McDonald trying to get on the same page as his pitcher Andrew Grider, also coming out. I believe that's Josh Matlow, so it might be a pitching change.
50-50 tickets. A gentleman from the Baycats in the blue sweater down the third base line.
Well, they'd love to leave Grider in to get 2 more outs just so that he can pick up that win tonight. He's pitched so well, but there's a lot at stake here with 2 runners on, both in scoring position.
Yeah, judging by body language, I think he's staying in the game.
Just a word of encouragement from Matlow. I haven't seen anybody throwing in the Baycat bullpen yet, so.
Yeah, there's some action now. Just getting started now. But Josh Matlow wanting to get at least 5 innings from a starter. You can certainly see why. There have been bright spots from the bullpen this year, but there have also been times when it hasn't looked as bright. So getting length from your starters is very, very important. Andrew Grider, a guy who's been used both from the bullpen and from the starting rotation, went 5 2/3 last time. Just getting into that territory, 1 more out would give him the same this time. But they want him to get through 5. Or excuse me, he'd need another inning for that, wouldn't he? So he's at 4 1/3 right now. They want at least 1 more inning from Andrew Grider.
Well, one of the biggest at-bats of the night right now with Damon Topley up, first baseman and manager. Chance to narrow this 3-run deficit. Hits this one on the ground. High hop. It's gloved by Lacasse over to first. In time for the out. Another run scores, though. And it's a 5-3 ball game. So Riley trots home. Salazzo had to stay at second. He had nowhere to go.
Yeah, it drifted a little bit too far towards second base for there to be much thought of moving to third.
Topley brings in a run on a 5-3 ground out, and now Dan Mara comes up to bat.
The only way you can go to third on that play is if you break right when Lacasse throws the ball to first. Like right when the ball exits his hand, you have to move. And then still, you're probably not going to get there in time. Because then it can get flipped right from first to third.
Dan Mara 0 for 2 tonight. (5-3) Barrie. We're in the top of the 5th inning. Here's the pitch. Outside corner, a strike, 1-1.
One of 2 Maras in this lineup if you're new to the Toronto Maple Leafs. Justin in the 3-hole, and then Dan down in the 7 spot.
Dan, Justin, and then Adam on the mound, so all 3 of them are in this ball game now.
Yep.
1 ball, 1 strike. Here's the pitch. 1-2. As Grider gets the call on the breaking pitch. Right fielder Jeff McLeod on deck. 1 or 2 away.
If Grider's been saving his strikeout stuff, now's the time to use it.
2 so far tonight.
Yeah, we haven't seen it quite as much as we did in his first start relief appearance. He's got it in there.
Buries that one in the dirt, and it's 2-2.
If he can, it's not as easy as flipping a switch, but if he can start pitching less to contact and more for the strikeout, that would benefit him going deeper into this game. His pitching to contact works less when you get more fatigued.
2-2 pitch, hit to right field. Avery Tuck, couple steps back. He's got it for the third out of the inning, but the Leafs score a pair. And we head to the bottom of the fifth with Barrie on top, 5-3. You're watching Baycats TV.
First run on the fifth, 2 runs on 2 hits, no errors, 1 runner left on base. That next home game for your Baycats will be this Thursday, August 26th, a 7:30 p.m. start, when the Kitchener Panthers are in here to battle your Barrie Baycats. Get your tickets at barriebaycats.com and avoid the lineup. Thursday night, 7:30 versus Kitchener. And the Barrie Baycats pitchers play with 5 or more opposing hitters in any home game this season. Each man in the park will receive a coupon for a free tackle, courtesy of the Old Tackle, located at 3 Providence Street in Barrie. We are currently sitting at 2. Leading up the fifth for the Baycats, the second base is number 8, Pregame.
Bottom of the fifth inning, Ben Davy along with Patrick Melbourne at Coates Stadium in Springwater. Baycats sent 9 men to the plate in the fourth. Brant Fianfonte, who led off the fourth, will lead off the fifth here for the Barrie Baycats. Thanks for joining us here on Baycats TV. Just a reminder, we have all the home broadcasts for you here on the Baycats YouTube channel, as this one's hit to the right field for a base hit. And he'll stay put as the ball is fired in by Jeff McLeod.
Yeah, misplayed just a bit right. Didn't have a massive impact on anything.
Quickly recovered, and Infante will hold.
Jake McDonald finally got a chance to show off the pop in his bat last time up. So he can do it again and really open some eyes here.
If you haven't been out to Coates Stadium yet this season, just a reminder, we've got 4 home games left before the playoffs. The next Thursday night against the Kitchener Panthers. You can get tickets at barriebaycats.com or right here at the ballpark. And of course, we have all of the home broadcasts for you the rest of the way right here on Baycats TV, the official YouTube channel of the Barrie Baycats. Baycats with 6 games left after tonight, 4 of them here at Coates Stadium. London and Welland are the 2 remaining road games for the Baycats before the playoffs. Kitchener, as I mentioned, on Thursday, then London on Saturday, and then Brantford will wrap up the home schedule here for Barrie this season. And the Panthers play here twice more. Leafs have 8 games left after this one: Kitchener, Hamilton, London, and Brantford. All have a trip left to Christie Pitts, and then the Leafs visit London, Brantford, Welland, and Hamilton. High pop-up, right field, sprinting over, and it drops in front of McLeod. That's a fair ball, and a base hit for Jake McDonald. Infante to second, 2 on, nobody out for Barrie here in the fifth.
first baseman, number 34, James Anderson.
James Anderson tonight has an RBI double and grounded into a double play. Adam Mara on in relief of Brendan Lyons tonight. Anderson, first pitch swinging, dunks it into center field. They put the stop sign at third, and Fonde will hold up. It'll load the bases for the number 9 hitter, Carson Burns.
That's an example of how much easier it is to pick up Mara as a right-handed hitter compared to as a left-handed hitter. No deception on that last pitch.
The shortstop, number 3, Carson Burns.
That same exact pitch looks completely different if you're a left-handed hitter.
Well, Mara hasn't been fooling anybody here in this 5th inning. He got a strikeout from Avery Tuck to end the threat in the 4th, but 3 straight Barrie singles here now have the Baycats in prime position to add to their 2-run lead.
If you're Toronto, you're sticking with Mara at least for one more batter to just try and get Carson Burns out and get to the top of the order, and maybe hope to generate a double play from Burns. Burns is not a bad hitter, though. He is not the weak-hitting 9-hitter that some teams use.
First pitch swinging, and it's a ground ball to second. They're going to go to first and get it out there. A run will score. It's 6-3 Baycats.
Sometimes it's okay to hit the ball a little bit more softly rather than go for the big exit velo on ground balls. Because if that ball is hit harder, it goes right to second base, and that's a double play.
The center fielder, number 15, Jake Wilson.
Mara last worked against the Red Sox on Sunday, worked 2 innings in that game, gave up 1 earned run, a strikeout and a walk, 2 hits. His longest appearance of the season was 4 innings against Welland on August 15th. That one fell back to the screen, strike 1.
Long hold and then a pitch inside. They're thinking about Wilson right now. If they were eager to go after Burns and just pitch to Carson Burns, they're not doing the same with Jake Wilson. They're taking a little bit more care.
2 singles and an RBI for Wilson today. Fouls that one out of play, 0-2.
Setting up outside all the way.
Jake Wilson with 24 runs scored, best on the Baycats, 5th in the IBL overall. High and away, and it's 1-2. McDonald at third, Anderson at second. 1 out here in the 5th. The pitch from Mara. Change speeds, and that one dropped low, 2-2. Pretty good variance between the fastball and the changeup from Mara.
Yeah.
Slow curve, and it's fouled over to the first base coach's box.
Yeah, he's more off speed than on, trying to deceive these hitters. That means the fastball comes in as a surprise, right?
And he's got that odd 3/4 release as well, which can sometimes be a little tricky.
Yeah, whoa.
Oh, this one rocked to right field. Jeff McLeod has some room, makes the catch, runner tags. This is McDonald sprinting home, throw cut off. Anderson to third. Baycats make it a 7-3 ball game.
It's not quite as hard to pick up as Jared Lund's from a couple of days ago, but that was really just kind of deceptive all around. Myers is still, you're right, it's still something you need to get used to at the plate. But the Baycats have done a good job of figuring them
The
out.
left fielder, number 42, Jeff Callan.
Very productive night for Jake Wilson. He has 2 singles, a stolen base, and he's driven in 2 runs as well with the 2 outs that he's made. So can't ask
Feels
for.
like he does that every game, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
he really does. You got a guy like that at the top of your order, and that's a valuable asset for any lineup. Jeff Cowan has reached base twice tonight. Fouls this one off. It's 1-1. Baycats with a run in the first, 3 in the 4th. sorry, 4 in the 4th, and now a pair here in the 5th. This one hits the right field, and it will drop in front of Jeff McLeod. Another run comes in. James Anderson scores, and it's 8-3 Baycats.
That was a misread in right field. He stood there thinking that it would come right to him, and then it ended up going in front of him. In hindsight, he'll have been wishing he used more to see on that play.
Rio ahead of the count here, 1-0. The Leafs have had trouble erasing big deficits here at this park over the years. They know at Christie Pitts that they have a strong enough lineup that they can fall behind like this and still make it a ball game in the late innings. But
and park factors come into play there too. A smaller park, you can take advantage of that.
Different story here at Coates Stadium. That said, the Baycats want to pile on as many as they can, I'm sure. 2 balls and 1 strike to Rio here. Here's the pitch from Mara. And it's 3 balls and a strike.
I think Ryan Rio will be taking all the way on this next one just to see what he gets. Really selective at the plate, but big power if you miss.
Ball 4. You called that one. Rio's on, count to second, 2 on, 2 out, and Marcel Lacasse comes to bat.
Rio's the type of guy where a 2-strike approach does not bother him. So if he goes 3-2 there, he doesn't care. He's absolutely fine with that. So taking a pitch there is a no-brainer. If it's outside, he's on base. If it's not, then he gets to battle in a situation he's not uncomfortable in.
On the ground, and it's gloved by the first baseman, Toppoli. The veteran sprints to the bag, and that will do it. Adam Mara gets his team off the field, but not before the Baycats add 3 runs, and they lead 8-3 through 5 here at Coates Stadium. You're watching Baycats TV.
Preparing the 5th, 3 runs and 4 hits, and no errors, 2 runners left on base. Number 6 is sponsored by the starting lineup, uniforms, and apparel. The official jersey of your Barrie Baycats. Your season starts here. Starting lineup, uniforms, and apparel. The Baycats in the pitch, number 35, Riley Hoover.
We go to the 6th inning here at Coates Stadium. Andrew Greider's night has come to an end as reliever Riley Hoover will come on in relief and hope to hold this Barrie 5-run lead for Andrew Greider, who's in line for his 2nd win of the season.
Yeah, Greider pitched well. He pitched more to contact today than we've seen in the past. In the past, he's been more of a strikeout guy, but I think opening up this other side of him has really benefited the Baycats today. They lead 8-3, and he's in line for that win.
Leading up to 6 for the Maple Leafs, the right fielder number 16, Jeff McLeod.
Hoover, a 23-year-old from Newmarket, making just his 2nd Baycats appearance this season. He worked August 14th in Welland, a 6-5 Barrie win, and pitched 4 innings in that game, allowing 2 runs.
Trying the lefty-lefty approach again.
This one will be caught by Wilson. He makes the diving grab. Great catch by Jake Wilson. There's one away.
And there you go. There's the other side of Jake Wilson, deciding to flash the leather just a little bit more. When he gets those dives down and they work, they're beautiful to watch.
Center fielder number 3, Connor Lewis.
Well, he seems to make more of those plays than he misses, and great diving grab by Jake Wilson there.
It might not look different in the final line score when it comes to errors, but if you make those mistakes in low leverage situations, you're okay, because you can grow from those.
Connor Lewis, the number 9 hitter now. And Hoover behind here, 2-0 to him.
Lewis having a rough season with the bat so far, 158 average. 1 RBI on the season, although it's not really a prime RBI spot, bottom of the order.
High fly ball, Avery Tuck with time. He makes the catch, there's 2 away.
Exactly the type of the inning so far that the Baycats were hoping out of the bullpen. You imagine they're going for at least a couple innings for Riley Hoover. So keeping the pitch count down in inning number 1 of work is really important.
Hoover stands 5'9", 185 pounds. No record, an ERA of 4.5 in that 1 appearance. And he was actually the starter in that game in Welland on August the 14th. Ahead 0-1 here to Jordan Castaldo, the veteran. Grounds it to second. Handled by Infante. Over to first. Maple Leafs go 3 up, 3 down for just the second time tonight. Go to the bottom of the 6th inning. Barrie comfortably up 8-3. You're watching Baycats TV.
Quick run on the 6th. No runs and no hits. No errors. No runners left on base. Defensive team for the Maple Leafs is pitched number 27, Evan G. Michelle.
Bottom of the 6th inning we go in Springwater with the Baycats on top 8-3. I'm Ben Davy along with Patrick Melbourne. And our 6th inning is brought to you by Starting Lineup Uniforms and Apparel, the official jersey provider of the Barrie Baycats. Your season starts here. And Avery Tuck will face a new Toronto pitcher.
Evan Z. Michelle takes the man born in 1992 in Oakville, Ontario, right-hander. Graduated from Brock University. He's with the Maple Leafs after some time away in the IBL. Pitched for the Burlington Bandits in the early 2010s. Has his command not pinpoint on that last pitch. Mixed success with the Bandits, but he returns to the IBL now as a 6.75 ERA across 3 games, all in relief. Has pitched 4 innings, struck out 2, walked 5, given up 7 hits. So it hasn't been as smooth as maybe he's hoped, but he's kept the ERA reasonable for as many hits he's given up. So he's hoping for a bounce-back performance here today.
His last outing was an inning of relief against the Barrie Baycats at Christie Pitts on August the 18th. So he's seen some of these hitters. Worked just 1 inning of relief, however. Bounces that one up to the plate, ball 2. Evan D. Michelle behind in the count here to Avery Tuck.
And he gets a different look again as a right-handed hitter after the lefty, Mara. That appearance in Barrie went okay. Toronto ended up winning that game 10-8. He went the inning, like you mentioned, gave up 2 hits and a run. Walked a couple, struck out 1. So his ERA is inflated from one really not ideal performance.
Avery Tuck is the only Baycat who has not reached base tonight.
He gave up 5 runs on 8 hits against Kitchener in the end of July on the 31st. But that was a bulk appearance. He went 4 1/3.
2-2 to Tuck. Missed away, and the count is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Tuck, Infante, and McDonald up for the Baycats here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Barrie leading by 5. Chopped on the ground. Second baseman Takamatsu gloves it up high, makes the off-balance throw, not in time. Avery Tuck beats it out for an infield single.
I actually have to correct something, Ben. The stat I just gave was completely wrong.
Oh.
It was right, but it was also completely wrong.
Well, here's your chance to correct yourself.
Yeah, so I mentioned July 31st he had that outing against Kitchener. Well, that happened in 2014, so that's not terribly current to deal with. Since then, yeah, he's had the 3 short relief appearances, given up a run in each of them. Sorry for bringing up the bad 2014 memories there.
I'm sure he's long since forgotten that year.
Not anymore, he hasn't, but hopefully he can once again.
So Avery Tuck is aboard, and all 9 Baycats in the lineup tonight have reached base safely.
But it's really cool to see him take some time away from the league and then come right back and find a new home. And the Maple Leafs clearly see a lot.
Branfi Infante hits it hard but foul. Bounces over near the Toronto bullpen, and the count is 1 ball and 1 strike. Infante has singled twice and scored twice. He's played a little third base this season, over at his more familiar spot, second base tonight.
Yeah. Played a little bit of shortstop too.
Runner goes, swing and a miss. Here's the throw. It's high and in underneath. With a stolen base is Avery Tuck. Tuck had a great jump. Mara got that throw down in a hurry. And he's in scoring position with nobody out. Count is 2-2. Tuck a perfect 4 for 4 now in stolen base attempts. Here's the 2-2. Fouled over to the Toronto bullpen again.
Big hard contact a couple times now in this at bat down the left field side. Well foul if he can straighten that out.
Looks that one even a little more foul than the last one.
Yeah. It's hard because it's got a little bit too much height to it. So if that stays fair, it's probably caught. So you have to find an opening. If you're the left fielder, you're still shading him pretty much traditionally. You might want to move left, or I guess they're right, just a little bit, over farther into left field.
3 balls, 2 strikes to Branfi Infante.
Seen that a couple times from Toronto tonight where they haven't been very proactive in shifting. Guys have laced a couple of them down the left field foul side, and they've stayed shaded a little more into the right side.
Runner goes again, and that ball gets past the catcher. So Avery Tuck, 90 feet away now. And aboard on a base on balls is Brent Vianfante.
I wonder if that's something, and I don't mean to criticize the Leafs too much because I don't think it's really a massive deal, but you wonder if that's one of the things that separates London from the rest of the league. We saw that on Saturday when they were really proactive in noticing mannerisms from the Baycats and jumping on them, whether it was offensively or defensively, on the base paths or shifting.
Swing and a miss by McDonald, strike one.
I think most of the teams in this league should follow that example.
Tuck at third and Fante at first. And the pitch from DiMichele, and that one up high. It gets to the backstop.
He motions with his left hand to the pitcher saying, okay, it got helmet, it's okay. But scary there for a minute.
Well, it looks like he's okay. Tuck scores and Fante goes to second.
Yeah,
And the at-bat to McDonald will continue.
McDonald looked right at DiMichele and grabbed his helmet, just motioned to it and said, okay, well, no hard feelings, hit the helmet.
1 ball, 1 strike. The pitch. A high pop-up. Baycat dugout. Off with the mask is Mara. And he's unable to come up with a catch. It went off of his glove and bounced off the ground and over the Barrie dugout. That will prolong the at-bat to Jake McDonald. Second pop-up tonight that Mara's had trouble with. The first one ended up being an interference call as home plate umpire Adam DeCare ruled that Avery Tuck made contact with him, even though it wasn't really related to the play itself.
That one was a much trickier play. Had to run a whole long way past the on-deck circle.
Called strike 3. McDonald frozen. First strikeout for DiMichele. And there's one away for James Anderson.
Good recovery pitch from Evan DiMichele after having control issues earlier into the at-bat. Locking in, getting okay.
James Anderson now with a runner at second. 9-3 Baycats here in the bottom of the 6th inning. And a called strike to start it off to Anderson. Barrie looking to snap a 3-game losing streak here tonight.
Both teams have a little bit of a edge trying to get back in the win column.
That one just missed, and the count is 1-1. Barrie 10-13 coming into tonight. Toronto 11-10.
Barrie dropped their game against the Brantford Red Sox on August 22nd, so when you come in on the road and try, gee, what the crowd think of that call? When you come in on the road and try and get back in the win column after a loss last time out, it's always a little bit tougher.
1-2 from DiMichele, and that's popped out of play. Well, what made the loss to London even more frustrating was that Barrie's record coming into that game was 10-12.
Yeah.
So if they had held that lead and won, that makes your record 11-12. And then tonight you got a chance to get back to the 500 mark. Unfortunately,
Yeah,
the opposite happened, and they come in 3 games under.
There's still time in the season. They have to lock in and go on a bit of a streak, but there's still time to get back to 500. And
For those wondering how the playoff situation works this year, 7 teams, all 7 make the playoffs, but the top team gets a first round bye. 2 will play 7, 3 will play 6, 4 will play 5. So lots of incentive to get that top spot, which right now is comfortably held by the London Majors.
Yeah, it
They have
looks
a
like the
4-game lead
Majors.
over the Kitchener Panthers.
it looks like the Majors are set in securing that at the moment. We saw why on Saturday night. Just a resilient team that cuts no corners in terms of being all into every way in the game. It's like I mentioned, with all the focus defensively on the base paths.
That one drops over the head of Garrett Takamatsu, and it's a base hit for James Anderson. So he reaches base for the 3rd time tonight.
And you know, I say cuts corners differently in a baseball sense because it's not something you necessarily consciously do. Teams that are struggling might
Shortstop number 3.
not be 100% locked in when it comes to the base pass and picking up little nuances, or in the outfield and shifting, or even at the plate and getting on top of every single pitch. When you're struggling, you're not necessarily on top of everything, and you unintentionally, like I said, maybe not 100% the right phrase, but cut corners a little bit. When you're on top, like the London Majors, and we saw it, they just have a way of avoiding doing that. And it's really, really impressive. It's more a positive on the Majors than it is a negative on anybody else.
Damon Topley wanted to have a chat with DiMichele, and Justin Mara and Dan Mara are out there on the conversation as well. Adam DeCare will be out there to hurry up the conversation, unless they're going to make a pitching change here. We'll see. Doesn't look like it. They're going to leave DiMichele in. Keep in mind, Topley is the manager and the first baseman, so.
Yep. Multi-talented.
If you see him get the ball, it doesn't necessarily mean he's walking to first. He may be looking to hand it to his next pitcher.
Yep.
But Evan DiMichele will stay in to face Carson Burns here. So we have runners in the corners. Infante at third, Anderson at first. Barrie looking to add to a 9-3 lead. Burns first pitch swinging, fouls it out of play.
Just thinking about that point about the London Majors at the top.
In the dirt, blocked by Mara. Runners stay put.
I'm trying to figure out another way to say it, because cut corners implies it's an effort thing, and it's not an effort thing. All teams are trying their best day in and day out, whether it goes their way or not. But you saw it, Ben, too. The London Majors right now are just playing at another level, and it's super impressive to see.
Yeah, it's certainly an elite team. This one hit to right field. Gets past Topley, picked up by Jeff McLeod. Another run will score. Throw comes into second. Make it a 10-3 Baycats lead. Nice piece of hitting by Carson Burns. So Anderson at second, Burns at first, and it's back to the top of the order for Jake Wilson.
Great job from the bottom of the Baycats order, and offense has not been a problem over the last few days for the Barrie Baycats, even on that disappointing ending Saturday night for them. The offense was there, and they were able to click for most of that game. And they're doing it again tonight. If they can bring this offense into the playoffs, they'll be really well set up.
Well, just to finish up our conversation on the standings, London, as we've mentioned, very looking to be dominant so far with that 4-game lead over second place Kitchener. Brantford back 8.5, but 2 through 6 right now, pretty close. This one hits a center field, and it's over the head of Connor Lewis. James Anderson is going to come in to score. Carson Burns behind him. The throw comes in. And another pair of runs for the Baycats to make it a 12-3 ball game. Oh, Anderson had to be careful that Burns didn't lap him on the bases.
Yeah, I was about to say.
He was right on his heels.
Burns and Anderson might have been beaten by Wilson if Wilson had decided to go home, but a smart hold right there at third, and the Baycats just taking every opportunity right now. I was glowing about the London Majors a bit ago, but now it's time to glow about the Barrie Baycats, because they're coming out of the gates really, really well in this one, and they've brought it throughout the entire game as well.
First pitch to Cowan is high. So what I was trying to say was that the Panthers and Baycats 2 through 6, there's not a lot of separation between those 5 teams, and that makes the last 10 games of the schedule super important if you want to try to get up near the top of the standings. There's lots of time for even Hamilton and Barrie to get up there. As this one's dropped into right field, another base hit. 4 straight hits for the Baycats in this inning. Jake Wilson scores 13-3 now for the Baycats.
And if the Baycats can continue hitting anywhere like this and then get consistent appearances on the mound from guys like Benitez and Grieveson and Leishman, and now Andrew Greider had a really nice appearance, I think they're really well set up. All those teams below London right now are pretty much on relatively equal ground, and the Baycats are right there. And then the playoffs, anything can happen.
Pair of RBIs now for Jeff Cowan. Jake Wilson has 4 RBIs this evening, and Rio up there first pitch swinging. Ball is bobbled by the shortstop. Got to second in time, over to first, and a double play. So that gets the Baycats off the field, but not before they score 5 runs, and they make it a 13-3 ball game through 6 here at Coates Stadium.
Barrie to 6, 5 runs on 5 hits, no errors, no runners left on base. Team number 7 is sponsored by Vintage Strong Barber Lounge. Experience the position of quality service in a relaxed environment. Redefining gentlemen in the heart of Barrie. Vintage Strong Barber Lounge.
Thanks, Mike. Rob Daniels here, in-game host behind to the right of home plate here. And before we get to our 50-50 draw winner announcement, I'd like to congratulate our social media winner tonight, at Turola, at Turola. Her name is Emma. She is the winner of a $50 gift card to shopbaycats.com, as well as some Baycats swag. So please pick up your winner package at the tent after the announcement of the 50-50 grand prize, which is, let's shake up the tickets here. Take out your 50-50 tickets. The grand prize winner is of $250 tonight at Coates Stadium. Numbers 925-781. 925-781. Congratulations to the winner of $250 tonight at Coates Stadium.
We go to the 7th inning, and first pitch swinging is Takamatsu. He hits it to third. Over to first in time for the out. Riley Hoover back out to work this 7th inning after getting the Maple Leafs 3 up, 3 down in the 6th.
Anyone scoring, you might have seen Riley Hoover wear number 96 earlier on in the season. He's wearing 35 today. So make sure you adjust that, and we will too.
He's chewing up too much time. You're likely to.
First pitch to Justin Mara is inside for a ball. Baycats with 21 hits through 6 innings. I'm trying to find this one's hitting the center field by Mara. So he's aboard. First base runner to reach off of Hoover tonight. Trying to find the season high hit total for the Baycats. In that 20-19 game, the Baycats had 19 hits, 20 runs on 19 hits that night. So the Baycats have already surpassed that with their 21st hit here tonight, and I don't think there have been another game where the Baycats have cracked the 20 hit mark this season. I could be wrong, I'd have to go back through all of them, but this is more than likely the season high hit total for the Baycats already this season.
Yeah, they've been locked in. They've seen 3 very different pitchers in Lyons, Mara, and then D. Michelle.
Wild pitch goes back to the screen, and trotting to second is Mara.
Makes it very, very impressive.
13 runs, 21 hits for the Baycats. They've stranded 8. 3 runs, 7 hits for the Maple Leafs. They've stranded 7.
Runner up to second now.
5 runs for the Baycats in that 6th inning, but they didn't strand anybody. The inning ended on that double play by Ryan Rio. Riley Hoover with a 1-0 pitch, and this one hits to center field. Jake Wilson to his left, and can't get there in time. Drops in front of him. Runners on the corners now. That ball was overthrown. Hoover's there to pick it up. Mara to third, Riley to first, and here's John Salazzo. Try telling this team they can't overcome a 10-run deficit. Been there, done that.
Far from over.
A little harder in this park, as we mentioned,
Yep.
but deficits do not scare this team at all.
It's time for the Baycats bullpen to have one of their better outings of the season. They've got the run support to do it. So it's lower leverage, easier on your mind.
Hoover's first offering is fouled off by John Salazzo, the third baseman.
And Toronto's bullpen has to do the same thing, except against a Barrie offense that's really clicked, maybe more than any other game this season tonight. I mean, that other game is up there, but hits-wise, it's got to beat.
Hoover came on in the 6th in relief of starter Andrew Grider, who's in line for his 2nd win of the season tonight. And the count is 1 ball, 1 strike to Salazzo. 7th inning brought to you by Vintage Throne Barber Lounge. Experience the tradition of quality service in a relaxed environment. Redefining gentlemen in the heart of Barrie. Missed away, 2 balls and a strike.
Salazzo with a batting stance where he's standing almost straight up.
Down the first base line. That's a fair ball, and it's going to bring a run home. Justin Mara trots across home plate. Riley digging hard for third. The slide, and he's out at third. Great throw to nab Sean Riley, who was trying to stretch that out to third base. Salazzo had to hold up at first. It is an RBI single, and the Leafs make it a 13-4 ball game.
Big outfield assist right there. Great throw, almost on the money, exactly where Lacoste had his glove.
First base number 7, Damon Popoli.
Well, that could be a huge out as the Leafs are making some noise here in the 7th inning, and that gets 2 outs now for Riley Hoover, and Damon Topley to the plate now with a runner at first base. Far less dangerous scenario than runners on the corners with 1 out. So Riley Hoover getting some help from his defense here in the 7th inning.
Not a big leadoff first. You don't
Called
expect
strike.
him to be going. Excuse me, Ben. You don't expect him to be going with 2 outs. Still something you have to monitor.
Hoover working quickly here. 1-1 pitch on the way from the left-hander. Change up is hit softly to third. Off balance throw there by Lacasse, and it's dropped by Anderson. Not sure the throw would have beat him anyway.
Yeah, it was really, really close. Lacoste did all he could, though. One of those plays where you monitor whether it's an error or a infield single. Could go either way, I think.
Well, we'll find out in a moment when they put it on the board. Dan Mara will bat. And they are going to call it an error.
I think both rulings would have been fair. The argument for the infield single would be that Lacoste was throwing a little bit off balance, and it was borderline on whether it would have been safe or not anyway. But
well, a slower runner too. I'm not sure if that factors into the scorer's mindset or not when deciding on that, but
I guess it comes down to the argument to make it an error with the drop at first base is a lot clearer, right? So sometimes that's what they go with.
Second error of the game for the Baycats. Dan Mara up now. Salazzo at second, Topley at first. 2 on, 2 out. Shortstop Dan Mara at the plate. Riley Hoover looking to work out of a 7th inning jam here. Runners aboard. Comes set. Here's the pitch. A high fly ball, right center field, and running over is Avery Tuck to make the catch. Leafs score a run. It's 13-4. Stretch time here at Coates Stadium. You're watching Baycats TV.
First run on the 7th, 1 run and 3 hits, 1 Barrie error, 2 runners left on base.
Hey fans, before we start our 7th inning stretch, Renee of Wybridge. Got to congratulate Renee of the $250 winner, the 50-50. Sing it, stand up. Peanuts and Cracker Jacks. Come on, Barry, you can do better than that. Here we go for its root. Root for the Baycats. They don't win, it's a shame. Louder for its 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game. Make some noise for your Baycats fans, Coates Stadium.
home game for your Baycats will be this Thursday, 7:30. When the Kitchener Panthers are in, here's battle your Barrie Baycats. That's Thursday night, 7:30 versus Kitchener. Defensive change from the Maple Leafs is the pitch number 31, Michael Asta.
Bottom of the 7th inning here in Barrie. It's a 13-4 Baycats lead. Michael Asta on in relief. And he will be the 4th pitcher for the Toronto Maple Leafs tonight.
Right-hander from Toronto, Ontario, born in 1994. He is 5'11" on the mound, so not super tall, but we'll see his pitching delivery. Big stretch in the middle there. He's appeared in 5 games so far. Started 2 of them, actually. Took the loss in 2 games as well. He has an 11.65 ERA, so they're trying to get him back on track. The ERA behind it, though, 17 strikeouts in 14 innings, only 4 walks. So when he gets beat, it's by contact, not free passes.
Brought some gas to Marcel Lacasse on that 1-0 fastball. The count is even, 1 ball, 1 strike.
Good rhyme right there. There you go.
Back to the off speed, and it's 2-1. Avery Tuck on deck, followed by Branfi and Fonte. 4-5-6 for the Baycats here in the bottom of the 7th inning.
I know you probably just came up with that on the spot, but I feel like some gas to Marcel Lacasse is something you come up with on the car ride over.
Not at all true. Time is called. Lacasse will take a couple moments to get comfortable in the box. Asta working from the stretch with nobody on here. 2-2 pitch. Fouled over the screen and out of play.
Just a little bit down, low on that one from the batter's box. Tough to angle your swing perfectly, so good that he got contact on it.
Temperature has dropped about 5 degrees here at Coates Stadium from game time. We started at 28, down to 23 now. Heat warning is still in effect. We had a 35-degree humidex reading when we started this game at 7:30 tonight.
A little bit of wind came in and out around an hour before game time, but now the wind has calmed down too, so it's turned pretty clear, pretty picture perfect.
A lot more comfortable here in the late innings, that's for sure. 2-2 to Lacasse. Fouled it away, and he stays alive. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Great at bat here.
Especially considering it's the first time he's seeing the new pitcher.
Swing and a miss. Down goes Lacasse.
Had him overpowered for that hole at bat.
Second time the Baycats have seen Lacasse Asta this season. He pitched in that 1920 game at Christie Pitts. Worked 2 innings that night.
So he went all fastball when it came to overpowering Lacasse. We'll see if he goes with a similar strategy here against Tuck. The problem with being so overpowering with only 1 pitch in the first at bat is that Tuck will notice that from the on-base circle and look fastball in this at-bat. Got the off-speed, but it was well outside, so it was an easy take. When he goes fastball, Tuck will be looking for it.
Tuck tonight 1 for 4. Now time is called, and Tuck will step out. And the umpire taking a little bit of a walk around home plate. Not sure why, just eating up a little bit of time. 1-0 to Tuck. Here's the pitch. First base line, fair ball. Tuck rounds first. Digs into second with a double. That was a really close call down the line.
Yeah, got the heater inside and turned on it to the right. It's one of those where you get a little bit lucky that it stayed fair, but he'll take it.
Tuck into second with a double. Branfy Infante, the second baseman, now bats with 1 aboard. And Infante has reached base 3 times tonight and scored all 3 times. 2 singles and a walk.
Second base number 8 for Branfy Infante.
He has scored 3 of Barrie's 13 runs this evening. Infante, 303 average coming into tonight, and a 2 for 3 night to add to that this evening. His first pitch buzzes him high and in, ball 1. Jake McDonald on deck, James Anderson to follow. There's 1 out here in the bottom of the 7th inning.
Missing upstairs again. He's missed upstairs a couple times early in at-bats. One of the easier ones to lay off of for most of these hitters.
And Asta behind, 2 balls and no strikes. Here's the pitch. Chopped foul over to the Toronto dugout. "26-year-old comes set, checks the runner. 2-1 offering on the way. Outside, ball 3.
They're not really that concerned with the runner on second. Taking bigger and bigger leads. Might go one of these pitches. Yeah,
3-1 as the runner goes. And a high pop-up over the Barrie dugout and well out of play. So the count is now full. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
So he lost the element of surprise he was going for at second base. But look for him to be aggressive again. Scoring position also important when you get to the bottom of the order. That's not quite as high-powering as the top. It'll be McDonald, Anderson, and Burns after Infante.
Damon Topley came out for a quick word with Asta. Didn't say a whole lot, but one advantage of having your manager field a defensive position. Pretty easy to get those instructions out to your pitcher. 3-2. Foul at home plate.
Can almost call portions of the game from first base if the catcher, instead of looking at the dugout for maybe an extra call.
And those don't count as mound visits either, do
Yeah.
they? So, I mean, yeah. 3-2. All 4. Another Baycat base runner. 2 on with 1 out. Second walk of the game for Infante. He's aboard for the 4th time tonight.
The catcher number 26, Jake McDonald.
Jake McDonald, 3 for 4 tonight. Real solid effort by this entire lineup.
Yeah, it's been a team effort. And I think as Josh Matlow tries to find a consistent lineup going toward playoff time, these 9 have all made a really, really good impression today.
Every Baycat has reached base. 7 of the 9 Baycats have scored runs. And the 2 that didn't score runs factored in. Tuck had an RBI. Lacasse with a pair of singles. I mean, it's just been a great effort right through this entire order.
Agreed.
Foul down the first base line. And it's 0-2. Barrie looking to build on a season high 22 hits tonight.
Don't see any action in that Baycats bullpen, so you imagine Riley Hoover is going to be out there for inning number 3.
Two on, one out. We're in the bottom of the 7th. Pitch from Asta as he pulled the string on that. Missed high and in. It's 1 ball, 2 strikes. "13 strikes, 7 balls in this inning for Asta. That one's away. 2-2. The pitch. And it's ball 3. The count is full. These Baycats hitters going deep in the counts now.
Get the pitch counts up.
4th Toronto pitcher of the night. Brendan Lyons started. This one hit down the line, and it's a fair ball into the right field corner. That scores another run. Tuck comes in easily.
There's Avery Tuck's run. You mentioned he was one of the only Baycats who hadn't scored a run to that point.
And advancing to 3rd is Infante. So McDonald with a double. Infante at 3rd. 23rd hit of the night for the Baycats. And it's a 14-4 game.
So Marcel Lacoste now the only Baycat without scoring a run today, and you know he's thinking about it.
Yeah,
so
as I mentioned, he has 2 singles, so he's, not a bad night, 2 for 5. He'll take that any evening.
Yep, but you know he's going to be wanting to score that run next time up.
James Anderson.
14 runs, 23 hits for the Baycats.
Quietly a real breakout day for Jake McDonald, who's been seeing the ball extraordinarily well today. He's a guy who can defend well, and if he can get that going, then he's going to be a real asset for the Baycats down the stretch. Baycats now up to 23 hits on the evening.
Oh, and 2 the count here to James Anderson. Carson Burns, the number 9 hitter, is on deck. Really incredible when you look at the offensive numbers that the Baycats have had against Toronto in these 5 games this season. Coming into tonight, 56 runs in 4 games over the Maple Leafs. Add 14 to that total. So that's 70 runs through 5 games. This one's dropped by the center fielder, Lewis. Oh, an untimely error for the Leafs, as that just keeps this inning going. Coming in to score, Infante. McDonald to 3rd. Reaching on the error is Anderson.
It was a routine fly ball that moved out to right center
Shortstop
field.
number 3, Carson Burns.
We've seen a couple of balls get lost in the lights or the sky tonight, so
Connor Lewis had it all the way. He just couldn't keep it in his glove.
yeah, that's one you should have. And I'm not giving him any news with that, because he's going to be thinking the exact same thing right now and looking for redemption on the next play.
This one hit to left field. Castaldo will have that drop to his right. Another Barrie run comes across. McDonald scores. Anderson to 2nd. Give Carson Burns an RBI on that. And we go back to the top of the order for Jake Wilson.
Number 15, Jake Wilson.
16-4 Baycats, and you know they're not going to take their foot off the gas for a minute. Especially the aforementioned game at Christie Pitts last month. Swing and a miss.
Big cut from Wilson. Again, swinging at that first pitch.
Wilson tonight 3 for 5. And you just talk about productive at-bats, as we've been saying all night, but Wilson 3 for 5, the 2 outs that he made, he brought runners home.
Yep.
So he got RBIs on both of those.
And he stole a base, too.
So every plate appearance has been productive for Jake Wilson tonight. 16-4 Barrie, bottom of the 7th. Michael Asta with the delivery. Swing and a miss. It's 1-2.
In a night of basically anybody in the batting order could be the player of the game. Jake Wilson making definitely a case to rise above and maybe be that player of the game tonight.
Baycats set 9 men to the plate in the 4th, 8 men to the plate in the 5th, 8 men to the plate in the 6th. This is their 7th batter of this 7th inning.
That's what this offense can do when they're all clicking.
Season high 24 hits.
You see the batting order with guys like Wilson, Cowan, Rio, Lacasse, Tuck. Everything going right most days individually, but not every time has it come together as a team. Tonight it's coming together, and this is maybe a preview of things to come if this offense can really get rolling.
Second strikeout of the game for Asta, and it brings Jeff Cowan to the plate. The inning started with a strikeout to Lacasse. And then following that, 5 straight Baycats reached base safely. Barrie with a season high 24 hits. It's got me wondering what the IBL high is this season. We're still only in the bottom of the 7th inning. Oh, and 1, the pitch. Sharply hit just past the Baycat dugout, foul. 0 and 2. Michael Asta, a strike away from bringing this inning to an end.
Remember, Cowan had that big bunt earlier today. There's a big opening on the left there, and everybody's still playing back, so it wouldn't.
Well,
I don't know
if he bunts up by 12 runs, I think the Maple Leafs might have a thing or two to say about that.
I don't know. I mean, it's a free out if you play it right,
Yeah.
so you can't be too mad about it.
2 outs in the inning. 2-2 the count here to Cowan. Here's the pitch. And that one's hit into right field. They'll hold the runner. Fans wanted them to send him. Anderson will stop at third.
Yeah, it was smart to keep him at third. The ball was coming in pretty rapidly.
So Anderson at third, Burns at second, Cowan at first.
Designated hitter number 27, Ryan Rio.
And this will be the second time tonight the Baycats have batted around. What a ball game. Like it.
To their potential offensively. It's just an awesome thing to watch. Rio's sent about 8 balls that direction out of play tonight.
Like a top 40 radio station, the hits just keep on coming. Rio waggles the bat. Here's the 0-1. Held his swing. And it's a ball and a strike. Sixth time through the order for the Baycats tonight. This one hits a short, and it gets through. Dan Mara couldn't get the glove on it. Another run scores. It's 17-4 Baycats.
That's an example of a defensive play that might be a little bit different in a closer game. The way that ball came off the bat, yes, it was right to shortstop, and yes, it was super, super quick, so you can't really fault him for having it go by him, but if it's 5-4 Baycats right now, you just might see a little bit more quickness to the defense, and that's pretty natural.
It's a play 9 times out of 10 he probably expects to make, and that one there just couldn't get the glove on it, and it got past him. It is a hit.
Yeah, ooh, that'll sting off the catcher's mask there, I think. It's one that I don't know if he wants to make that every single time or if he's going to be that hard on himself because it came at him really, really quickly. But defenses look different in games where they're up big or down big.
1-1 is fouled over the screen, and it's a ball and 2 strikes. And again, Michael Asta 1 strike away from bringing this inning to a merciful end for the Maple Leafs.
But that's human nature in a way, right? That's what happens in games that are close or not close.
17-25-2.
No action in the Maple Leaf bullpen, so it's Michael Asta versus everyone here in the 7th inning. He's in to finish this inning himself.
Yeah, he might be up for the next one too, depending on how long they want to bring his pitch count to.
1-2 pitch. Inside, and the count is even 2-2.
Sometimes it's key to just get guys experience in games that aren't close anymore. See how they react to different things.
46 pitches for Asta this inning. 30 strikes, 16 balls.
Yeah, that's a long inning.
Got a piece, so he'll stay alive, and that one caught the catcher Mara, and he's in some considerable pain.
Yeah, second time a ball's gone back hard to Mara this at-bat.
Might have gone off the forearm on the glove side.
But you can have bat-around innings with the pitch count remaining reasonably low. This is not one of those situations, pitch count getting higher and higher. And yeah, you're right. It's getting up there.
They're going to take their time out there and give him every opportunity to regain himself as the umpire, taking a little walk, goes over to the Baycat dugout, gets some new baseballs.
I'm going to shift my opinion on the fly, actually. I don't think we'll see him next inning. So this will probably be his inning, no matter how long it takes.
2-2. This one hit hard to right center field, and it drops for a hit. Another run scores. Ball goes all the way to the wall, but they're going to hold the runners. Oh, the fans kind of moaning, but it's an 18-4 game. Carson Burns comes in. So Cowan to third, Rio to second. And it's an RBI for Marcel Lacasse.
Lacasse has his opportunity to score now if things go right. Tuck taking all the way on the first pitch there. Just getting reacquainted with the pitching motion and everything.
Tuck has reached base his last 2 plate appearances. Was 0 for 3 before he singled and scored. And this pop-up should stay playable. Third baseman's over, makes the catch. John Salazzo takes it for the third out of the inning. But the Baycats send 11 men to the plate. And through 7 innings, it's Barrie 18, Toronto 4. You're watching Baycats TV.
For Barrie the 7th, 5 runs on 6 pitches, 1 Toronto error, 3 runners left on base.
Hey, Baycats fans, checking in to the right of home plate tonight with some trivia for a $25 gift card to the Baycats shop up for grabs. I'm joined by Baycats superfan Tammy, season ticket holder at the ballpark. So tonight's trivia, Tammy, here is your question. Who was the last Baycat to hit for the cycle? Was it A, Jeff Cowan, B, Jordan Castaldo, or C, Jordan Lundberg? Well, you got, yes, the last part right. Jordan Castaldo, yes, you did. That was C. Well, you got it anyway. You got the player right. Did I say B? All right. We got you the right player. That's the that's the best part about it. You got the player right. Jordan Castaldo it is. He won the award in 29, or rather, he was against the Guelph Royals where he hit the cycle back in 2018. So congratulations, Tammy. You got yourself a $25 gift card to the Baycat shop. So enjoy that.
Defensive change to the Baycats, now playing second base, number 17, Darius Barless.
Eighth inning here at Coast Stadium. Baycats up by 14. It's an 18-4 lead for Barrie, and Riley Hoover back out to work the 8th inning. He'll face Jeff McLeod, Connor Lewis, and Jordan Castaldo. Defensive substitution for the Baycats as Darius Barless comes in for Branfi and Fadi at second. This one hit to him as he gets into the action right away, and the throw pulls first baseman James Anderson off the bag.
Sometimes you're a little bit over-eager when you come right into the game. And it looked like he rushed the throw a little bit there. He had a little bit more time. Still a double play situation, so not a ton of pressure. It's still the bottom of the order, too.
So McLeod into the game.
came in today hitting 158. Not a lot of power on the year, but he's gotten on base better than that would reflect. Still not a super high on base average, but better, 304.
Quick scoring note passed along to me in that 7th inning in which the Baycats scored 5 runs on McDonald's sac fly. It's E8. He gets the RBI on that. A 1 on and nobody out here for Connor Lewis. A 1-2 count to him. The pitch. Swing and a miss.
Nice pitch right there.
Well, keep in mind, Riley Hoover was on the bench for 20 minutes, 25 minutes there.
Yep. But he's giving the Baycats length out of the bullpen and staying sharp.
Number 5, Jordan Castaldo.
Top of the order now, it's a new challenge. But you've got so much run support that you can go in and attack hitters.
This one hit deep. Left field. Going back is Cowan, and it is off the base of the fence. Picked up and fired in, and there's runners at second and third. Solid hit by Jordan Castaldo. Garrett Takamatsu will bat with 2 in scoring position.
Second base number 4, Garrett Takamatsu.
This guy is really not seen Hoover super well tonight. If you weren't with us earlier, he got struck out on 3 fastballs in his first at bat against Hoover. So
this will be Hoover's 30th pitch. Came on in relief of Andrew Grider in the 6th inning. And Grider in line for his 2nd victory as a Barrie Baycat. The offense has broke loose in a big way here tonight at Coates Stadium. 18 runs on 27 hits for the Baycats this evening. Toronto 4 runs on 11 hits.
both Takamatsu and on-deck hitter Justin Mara have enough power to really do something, but Riley Hoover's been excellent.
Hard hit foul ball over to the left side, and it's 1-2.
He's also pitching at a pace that would suggest he's focused on, you know, the team has the lead, so he's not super concerned with the runners in scoring position. He's willing to give up an out.
1 ball, 2 strikes, swing and a miss.
Or give up a run for an out, rather.
Couple of strikeouts for Riley Hoover in this 8th inning, and here comes Justin Mara.
Catcher number 9, Justin Mara.
Takamatsu just not having his best stuff today. They'll say thank you. Take the outs he's been giving.
So 2 strikeouts for Hoover tonight, both of them in this 8th inning. Jeff McLeod at third, Jordan Castaldo at second.
Mara saw the ball better in his last at-bat, but...
Pitch from Hoover, off speed, and he gets him. 0-2.
Brilliant off speed there.
No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 on. We're in the 8th. The pitch from Hoover. High fly ball. Avery Tuck going back near the fence, and it's gone. That's a 3-run shot. And the Maple Leafs make it an 18-7 ball game.
That's Justin Mara's 10th home run of the season. He is slugging .735 coming into tonight. That off-speed working so well against Takamatsu. And it worked well earlier in the at-bat against Mara, but it just did not fool him there. He was sitting on it and he slammed it. Got over the fence and right.
So the first player in the IBL to reach double digits in the home run category this season.
Designated hitter number 33, Sean Riley.
And that's a big one as it gets Toronto a little bit of momentum here in this 8th inning. Sean Riley comes to the plate now. That was fouled over near the dugout, strike 1. So 4 runs in this relief appearance so far for Riley Hoover.
Still only 37 pitches from Hoover.
From the stretch, the 0-1. on the ground to third. Lacasse with a long throw. In time for the out. Great throw by Marcel Lacasse, and that'll do it for the Leafs in the 8th. They score 3, however, and make it an 18-7 ball game. You're watching Baycats TV.
The Toronto 8, 3 runs on 2 hits, 1 Barrie error, and no runners left on base.
Don't be ashamed to sing along. It's the best part right here. Ready? Let's hear Baycats fans! Sing it! Ba, ba, ba.
Michael Asta has thrown 50 pitches tonight, and he's back out to work the bottom of the 8th inning for the Toronto Maple Leafs, who trail by a score of 18-7 here at Coates Stadium. The 8th inning is brought to you by Barnstormer Brewing Company, the official local beer of the Barrie Baycats. Darius Barless, a defensive replacement for Branfi and Fante. The top half of the inning will take ball 1.
You might see more guys from the Baycats bench come in as defensive replacements if the score stays as wide open as it is.
Branfi and Fante had a 2 for 3 night with a couple of walks included, and scored 4 runs this evening for the Baycats. Hit on the ground to second, and it gets underneath the glove of Garrett Takamatsu.
Barless, another one of those guys who's had a bit of a slow start to the season. I guess we're well into the season now, but his numbers haven't jumped off the page yet, so we'd like to get hot down the stretch.
Catcher number 26, Jake McDonald.
Darius Barless will be credited with a hit on that ground ball, and why not? It's 27 for the Baycats, 28 on that hit.
Yeah, that's another one that could go either way, even in a closer game.
Shallow fly ball. It's going to be the shortstop back on that one, Dan Mara, as he makes the overhead catch, and there's one away in the inning.
First baseman number 34, James Anderson.
James Anderson tonight has scored 4 runs. 3 for 4, and he reached on an error. Baycats hoping to continue this explosion of offense and carry it right on through to Thursday night's game when the Kitchener Panthers come to town.
Big cut upstairs in the strike zone.
Oh, and 2 is the count to Anderson. Here's the pitch from Asta. Off speed, misses away, 1-2. Outside corner, strike 3.
Was hoping for the command that he showed last inning, where it was a little bit more erratic, but he's settling down out there on the hill.
Shortstop number 3, Carson Burns.
So Anderson wasn't able to wait on the balls from Michael Asta.
A little too close to take in an 11-run ball game. Burns hits this one hard, but it's going to go foul. Over near the Barrie
Certainly had
bullpen.
the distance, didn't it?
One of the hardest hit balls we've seen Carson Burns hit. Two outs here in the bottom of the 8th. Michael Asta. Delivery to Burns, and that's a strike. Oh, 2 pitch, and that's high and away.
It's another easy one to lay off because you're seeing it up and away well before you have to swing. The really effective ball's outside the strike zone. He's already started the swing before you realize it's outside the zone.
Foul tip into the catcher's glove, and that does it for the Baycats. They strand a runner through 8. It's Barrie 18, Toronto 7. You're watching Baycats TV.
For Barrie tonight, no runs and 1 hit, no errors, 1 runner left on base. Inning number 9 sponsored by Barnstormer Brewing Company, the official local beer of your Barrie Baycats. Barnstormer Brewing Company. To the Baycats in the pitch, number 62, Aiden Russell.
Ninth inning, I'm Ben Davy along with Patrick Melbourne. Thanks for joining us here on Baycats TV. If you're a Barrie fan, we know you're enjoying the score. It's an 18-7 Baycat lead over the Maple Leafs, and this is the 5th and final regular season matchup between these Highway 400 rivals. And Aiden Russell will come on to try to nail it down for the Baycats tonight.
8th game of the season for Russell. He's pitched 8 innings already, giving up 6 hits, 3 runs. It's been very good. 2.25 ERA. Struck out 9, hasn't walked anybody. So Baycats trying to shut things down in the 9th.
He did work a third of an inning in the 13-10 collapse here on Saturday night against the London Majors. Got a strikeout, and at that point, things had already kind of gotten out of hand by the time he got into the game. Nice diving backhanded play by Burns. A high throw across, though. Off the bag is Anderson. And that'll be a hit for John Salazzo.
That would have been a hit either way. Salazzo was really fast down the line. If he had taken the step and thrown properly, he would have been safe. Russell's held opponents to a 188 average, so.
This crowd here in Barrie has thinned out considerably on this weeknight. Home team comfortably in front by 11 runs. And Russell will face Damon Topley, Dan Mara, Jeff McLeod to follow. Nobody out here and 1 on here on the top of the 9th inning. high it in, and it's 2-0.
Yeah, the command got away from him on that one, just slipped a bit upstairs where he wanted it to be.
Called strike, and it's 2-1.
He's getting that higher strike. Last pitch was evidence of that, so he might go right back there.
A high pop-up, calling for it is Anderson. An easy catch, and there's one down. The Baycats have scored a staggering 74 runs in 5 games against the Maple Leafs this season. Just an incredible number.
Wonder if it's a mental thing, that they just know they do well against the Leafs and they continue game after game.
This is Dan Mara. Shortstop tonight 0 for 4. He'd love to crack that goose egg here. I'm going to call it strike to him. And this one hit to right center field. Tuck is there, 2 away.
The right fielder, number 16, Jeff McLeod.
Hoover's final line, he gave up 4 runs, pitched 3 innings, but it was an outing that the Barrie Baycats really, really needed. They could afford those runs. They're up 18-7 now, but they just need consistency out of the pen, and Hoover definitely provided it for them. Grider's final line, by the way, 3 runs, 7 hits over 5 innings, walked 3, struck out 2, so pitched to contact for sure, but got the job done too.
Just to do some quick math on that staggering figure, 74 runs over the Toronto Maple Leafs in 5 games. That accounts for 43% of the Baycats' offense this season has been against this one team, the Toronto Maple Leafs. 43% of their runs scored against one of their 6 opponents. Count is 1 ball and 2 strikes with 2 out. We're in the 9th. Rossel set from the belt. And the leg kick and the 1-2 pitch. Just missed, and the count is even. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Not an easy pitch to lay off there from the lefty. Would start looking inside and then curve outside by the time it's done. Good job to lay that one off.
A 28-hit performance by the Baycats tonight. And there's a high fly ball that should end it. Tuck and Wilson converge, and it's Avery Tuck putting it away for the 3rd out of the 9th. And the Baycats win the 5th and final regular season matchup between the Leafs and the Baycats, taking the season series 4 games to 1.
28 hits. Everything came together for the Barrie Baycats offensively today. They got consistency out of their pitchers when they needed it. And the fans, all the players come home happy.
18 runs for the Baycats, 28 hits, 7 runs for the Maple Leafs, 13 hits. Lions takes the loss. Ryder gets his 2nd win as a member of the Barrie Baycats. Don't forget, we're right back here Thursday night. Kitchener Panthers will be in town. Come on out to the ballpark and join us. If not, Patrick and I will have the call right here for you on Baycats TV. Again, our final, Barrie 18, Toronto 7. Thanks for watching us on Baycats TV. We'll see you next time.